Yeah. This is Troy Taylor with the Championship Football Coaches Clinic podcast, sponsored by Rack Coach and Sports Workbook. What a crew we got on tonight. We got Coach McNally, we got Coach Mirabal. Coach Mirabal, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey, being a former high school coach, working your way to being the offensive line coach at the University of Miami.
Well, so I was a high school coach for 16 years down in South Florida, and I never wanted to do anything else than that. I was a history teacher and and a football coach, and that's all I ever wanted to do. So I never set out to be a college football coach. I think you should always work the job you have and be where your feet are at, and that's what I did. And then with full disclaimer, my best friend in the whole world happens to be a guy named Mario Cristobal, who's now the head football coach at the University of Miami. We went to high school together, and we became best friends freshman year in high school. And when I didn't know I was going to be a coach, and he didn't know he was going to be a coach, and hell, shit, he was going to be a Secret Service agent, right? And he was the best man at my wedding and all that stuff, right? So in 2006, December 2006, he calls me and tells me he might have the opportunity to become the head coach at a place called FIU, Florida International University, down in Miami, Florida. And I said, Coach, that's awesome, man. You should take it. I think it's a hidden gem, whatever. And the next day he calls me back. He goes, hey, I want you to come with me. I said, well, my wife says, hey, hell, let's do it. We don't have to move. So it was because I was in Miami, so we didn't move. And we were there 6 years. And after 6 years, we got let go. We got let go there at FIU. And Coach Cristobal ended up being the offensive line coach at Alabama after that. Right. So he was there with Coach Saban for 4 years. And Coach McNally, I went to one of your old stomping grounds. I was at Marshall University. I was the offensive line coach at Marshall for 5 years. I was there from 2013, from the season of 2013 to the season of 2018. So I was there. And then Coach Cristobal ended up going out to Oregon, and he was at Oregon as the assistant head coach and the offensive line coach for Willie Taggart, right? Willie Taggart leaves after a year to go to Florida State, and they elevate Coach Cristobal to being the head coach. And then that's when he called me, and I went out. I left Huntington, West Virginia, and I went out to Eugene, Oregon, and I was there for his 4 years as a head football coach there. And then, now we're 2 years in at the University of Miami. So, that's not what I could go, if they tell me, hey, you got to go back to being a high school coach tomorrow, I'd be as happy as I am now. So to me, coaching is coaching and teaching is teaching. And I never was trying to get to where I'm at. I've just been blessed and honored and humbled to have this opportunity. That's it.
Coach McNally, had you ever heard of Alex before he wanted to come on the show? Were you aware of him as a coach?
Well, I've heard of his name, but I've never met him personally, because most of the people that I either worked with or associated with in college or the NFL are either retired or dead. So Coach is definitely younger than I am, and he was brought up in a different era where maybe I spoke at a clinic and coaches were there that knew me, but I didn't know them, because most of my guys, like I said, I mean, I'm 8 months from being 80 years old. 80. You remember when your grandpa was 80, if he ever got it to be that old? Usually when they got 50, you said, man, that guy's old. So,
yeah.
No, but I have heard of the coach. Yes.
And how many pull-ups, Coach, did you hit today?
Well, to get in the Navy SEALs, I'm supposed to do a wide grip all the way up and then all the way down and then hold it. And I got to do 10 of those to even get a tryout at the SEALs. Now, the normal ones, I can do about 20 of those, but I try to do the wide grip ones because they said they made a exception for me, even though I'm going to be 80 years old.
Man.
I could carry a clipboard when they're going through their preliminary workouts.
So, Alex, when you were at Marshall, you mentioned to me on the phone that someone had told you something. And it was about Coach McNally. Would you like to share that with everybody?
Yeah, so I'm not very tall. So they told me that, they at one time at Marshall, right after the plane crash, right, Coach? That's when you were there?
Yeah.
Yep. That they had a tremendous offensive line coach that was there and had a huge impact on the program, and has gone on to do tremendous things in the game of football. And they mentioned Coach McNally, but I got to know of Coach McNally because I was a high school coach down in Miami. And obviously, one of the things that you always try to do, Troy, and you know this, and Coach, you know this as well, is you always try to professional development. And it's hard when you get into college football because you're so busy doing everything else in terms of like recruiting and stuff like that you don't really set aside time to do professional development, which I try to do. But make a long story short, I remember buying all the VHS tapes of all the cool clinics. Because I was at a high school in Miami, and they're like, okay, you're not going to go to the cool clinic in Cincinnati. No, we're not paying for you to go there. I was like, okay. So I used to buy the tapes, and heck, I still got those VHS tapes, and I've got all the DVDs, and I got all that stuff. And then finally, when I got close enough, and then, the only beef I ever had with the cool clinic, and it's a little beef, is it was always in the middle of May. And as a college coach, that's when recruiting's going on. That's our month that we're out recruiting. So we all have to lie to our coaches. Hey, I got a guy in Cincinnati I got to go see. I got a player I got to go see in Cincinnati on a Friday, so you can stay there Friday and Saturday to go to it. But when I was in Huntington, West Virginia, I was able to go in person to the Cool Clinic one of the years. And it was my last year in Huntington, and that was awesome. That was awesome. And I think the Cool Clinic's coming back this year live, I think.
I don't know. They got so many coaches on there. I think it's still virtual.
Is it still virtual?
Yeah.
So I missed that, but I went one time, and it was awesome. And then when I was at Oregon after the 2019 season, I think in 2020, I spoke at the Cool Clinic. Now, it was because of the pandemic, so I had to speak virtually, but at least what an honor and stuff, because that clinic has given so much to me. And hearing guys like Coach McNally, heck, Coach, I became a double under guy because of you, and I started doing double under with my high school kids way back when, and I continue to do it today. And your butt low, your butt low, your head up, and the arch in your back, and one arm is longer than two, and foot fire. Hey, Coach, they heard we had spring ball practice today. They heard foot fire today. Now, I foot fired them, And the one cool thing, Coach, I told Coach Taylor, this is when doing all this stuff on Twitter and stuff like that. It's man, you know what? That's what. Man, I need to call it foot fire, not what I used. You know what I'm saying? Not keep your feet moving. So just little things like that have triggered things in my mind and stuff like that. So we really appreciate you, Coach, and the impact that you continue to have on the game of football, especially offensive line play. And I think your legacy is not only the great offensive lines that you created, but more importantly, in my opinion, is what you've given back to us as coaches. That a lot of guys are like they're so into keeping their secrets, but you've always shared, Coach, and appreciate that.
Yeah, I actually learned from the best. I'm kind of ADD, so everything I always worked as hard as I could at learning and, asking questions, going to spring practices. But I think I've actually learned from the best guys. Now, how do you know who the best guys are? There's 1,000 or more, 10,000 offensive line coaches out there. There's 32 NFL coaches out there. There's 500 or more college offensive line coaches out there. But when I was brought up in my first year with the Bengals, a guy named Lindy Infante, who was a great offensive coordinator, he sent me to the Eagles, and there was a guy named Jerry Wampfler. And this was like in 1979 or 80. And he taught me all that power step, kick step, which I still don't use much of it anymore, but you know, how to lunge off the ball. And then as I started getting into coaching, I coached a guy named John Strollo at Boston College, and he ended up being at Penn State, Elon, Ball State. He had a lot of smaller school jobs, Northeastern, Lafayette, Maine, Massachusetts. Smartest guy I know. Smartest guy I know. Uses big words, but if you can separate the big words, he knows more about the body than anybody has ever met. So even though I had coached him, he was kind of a mentor of him. So I would say the combination of John Strollo, who's got a lot of stuff on YouTube, and then Scott Peters. I coached Scott Peters with the Giants, and he doesn't even believe in the bench press. And I saw him throw up about 560 one day on the bench, and he says, "Coach, the bench press isn't worth a shit." He said, "It's all in your lats, your subscapular muscles." Well, I didn't even know what the hell those names meant, but learning alternate hand punches and so forth from Peters. And then I got to be close with Coach Callahan, who's noted as probably the top line coach. When he got done being the head coach at Oakland and then the head coach at Nebraska, he was so used to being a head coach that he hadn't had to coach the O-line. So Rex Ryan hired him with the Jets, and I went and visited him one time in Cortland, New York, and he asked me a few questions, and then I think I helped him get back into the O-line mode, and then he ran with it, obviously, and has developed lots of things on his own. But so anyway, I learned from a lot of people. I had Anthony Munoz, the greatest player to ever play his position, and I would always ask him, "How does this feel? What do you think about this?" And then I've adjusted and changed as I've moved on. And I'm no longer full-time coaching, but I got so many videos, end zone videos. And whenever I have a thought, I find one of those videos and flash it up there. And I try to put the most recent stuff that I think works out there. I'm not an expert at the wishbone or the wing tee, although 40 years ago, I was a little more of an expert at it. But ever since then, I've been in more of a quarterback-oriented offense where really you're throwing the football to win, even though everybody says we got to run the ball. It's a quarterback-run league, probably in college and in the NFL.
So, Alex, when you saw, when was the first time you saw that Jim McNally was on Twitter, and what came to your mind? Like, some people say that they thought that it was a fake account.
Well, I knew
the first time you saw it.
Whenever Coach put one of his tweets of one of his videos, you know, whether it was the up kick, you know, whether it was the gosh, Coach, what do you?
The pillar. He's frozen in space.
Yeah, no, Coach. I might have to go and walk him through.
McNally.
Okay, he's good.
You froze a little bit, Coach.
Yeah.
Are you sitting next to the router box? Are you near the router?
God, you just stumped me on that. Do I have to move?
Maybe, Coach.
Let me move. I'm good.
You're in a really nice house, Coach. So, I mean, I would be worried what you would see if I moved my camera around.
No, hell, come on.
See all that stuff behind Coach McNally? That's not actually football stuff, is it, Coach? What is that behind you?
It's my wife's bookcase in the I'm in the basement because she says I talk too loud.
Yeah. Well, I got these things in my ear. Let me see if I can get to this other room here. But yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Hey, see, this is a part of Totem Pole Nation, and I'm the low man on the totem pole. Okay, but the low man always wins, and we're not talking about flat back, are we, Coach McNally? Because we're not old school, we're new school. We're like a gorilla at the zoo. We're like an alligator. Our butt is low. All right, because I don't want Coach to start thinking I'm teaching the flat back. He's going to get upset with me.
So I'm like Coach McNally. I'm not in the basement because we don't have basements down here in Miami, but I'm in my wife's. This is where she keeps all her books.
Okay,
in
right
the
on.
house.
Oh,
It's a
and I
good
want to say
backdrop.
something about Troy Taylor, the gentleman that's running this podcast. He's a high school coach at one of the better schools in Richmond, so he doesn't need another job in high school, but he would be a great recruiter in college. He would be a great offense or defensive assistant coach.
Yeah.
And any of you guys out there listening, he didn't know I was going to tell us about him. He does these podcasts on himself. He's a football nut. He's actually, I wouldn't use the word crazy because he'd be in an insane asylum, but he does this for fun. He does probably 8, 10, 12 of these a week. Nobody pays him for anything. So you guys out there, the next time you get an opening on your staff in college only, because he's at one of the top high schools, consider this guy, Troy Taylor. There's nothing he can't do.
He told me I was above average. Remember that, Coach McNally? You said I was above average.
Yeah, you were above average, but you've progressed to being yeah, he's a workaholic. But again.
Hey, Coach, and I can recruit, can I?
Yeah,
you've seen my girlfriend.
See his girlfriend. Put a picture of her up there. Where do you see this, Alex?
This is it. Okay, Coach. For you, Coach. For you, I'm going to do it, Coach. All right. Now, this right here, one of these guys at UVA asked me, could I recruit? And I said, heck yeah, I can recruit. Are you ready? Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's a pretty good football. Yeah, Rock Hill, Coach. There's some good players in Rock Hill now, and we cannot answer any questions. Coach cannot talk about any recruits.
You're not a racist either.
No, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not, Coach. I love all people. I mean, I love South Florida, Coach. I like Dillard High School, Boyd Anderson, Boynton Beach, all of them, Coach. I love it all.
Yeah, you were telling me you've been at some of those places where at Virginia Union, right? With some of those guys that had South Florida ties. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. So when you first saw Coach was on Twitter, what did you think, Alex? Did you knew it wasn't a dummy account? You knew it wasn't somebody?
No, because Coach, it was.
Yeah,
he was talking about rooted. He was talking about rooted, about up kick. He was talking about one being longer than two and all that stuff. So I knew it was Coach McNally because I've heard some of these things before. You know, the double under and all that stuff. So and then I'm like, man, you know what? What an awesome way to give back. You know, what an awesome way to give back, and what an awesome way for guys like me to be able to pass forward the stuff that Coach McNally believes in to my O-line graduate assistant, the O-line analyst at Miami, and then we actually told our players and our O-linemen, and they've started to follow. You know, and they
my players
to see
have too. My players are too 10th graders. I have a 10th grader watching. They know Coach McNally. They know.
You know, we have access to.
We took one of his centers off the playground, and we put him in a right. We made him snap the ball with his right hand and snap the ball with his left hand, and he was just playing basketball 2 minutes beforehand. And of course, there was nobody over.
On a side street in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah,
but he did it, right?
He did it. He did it short snap. He did it long snap, because we were talking about, well, if the shade is on your one shoulder, and particularly if you have short arms and you snap the ball, the guy's going to, swim you, or, that hand won't be as dominant. And I said, just put the ball in the other hand, wherever the shade is. They don't know if you're going away from the shade to the shade. Everybody laughed at me, looked at me, said, shit. When I snapped the ball, I had the ball in high school on the tip, and I do the same thing. I grab the ball on the tip of the end because it's easier to do a shotgun snap for a new center, flipping it back, than it is trying to do a dead snap, semi-spiral. But anyway,
we got a lot of comments. We got a lot of comments, y'all.
Coach, do you remember Coach McNally? Do you remember that he was a great player in the NFL for a couple of years? Steve Everett, the center.
I did remember Steve from Michigan.
From Michigan. So Steve Everett went to school down here in Miami. He went to school at Miami Southridge High School, and I remember when Everett he was a center for Bo Schembechler, and Everett was right-handed, and Everett broke his right hand, and he just turned the ball over and learned how to snap with his left hand. Didn't miss no game time, you know? So
Man,
It,
he got into a big Twitter beef with a guy over this.
I heard that.
It's the quarterback, if you're under center, that's got to be able to hold his hands like this, where he holds them like this when the ball's snapped normally. If the ball comes up, with the tip down on the ground, his hands are like this. The ball fits right in there. So I would go back and snap the ball like I used to then, because when you shotgun snap, it's easier for a young guy learning center, because when they first start it goes all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And you know what, Coach, you bring up a great point, because like we have our starting center at Miami right now transferred to us from Central Florida. And he was a kid that started 36 games at Central Florida, and now he's with us. And you take for granted, but like I don't even worry about the snaps, because his snaps are so accurate, so on point, that you take it for granted until you don't have one, until you have one that's erratic and stuff like that. Because quarterbacks, right? Quarterbacks, if that ball's even a little bit off, I mean, them jokers are going to let you know. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. They're going to let you know.
Yeah. So Rich Kelly, my friend Rich Kelly here, he said, love the bios. Mike Waters said, this is fantastic. This is my first time to this clinic. Will Thomas said, hello all. And then my friend, Steve Saulnier, and only reason I met him, Alex, is because he sent me a message on Twitter thanking me for getting Coach McNally on Twitter. And he says his whole entire offensive line at the University of West Florida is following the GOAT, Coach McNally. So ain't that cool, Alex?
I don't know about that, but why don't we start putting on some of those plays, and then we can all share.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get right to football, Coach. Well, we went 22 minutes without talking about much football.
There's tackles dropping the post foot versus an inside.
Shut the noise off. All right.
Yes, sir.
And Coach Alex can chime in there. I used to be a post step guy, a power step. The guy goes inside, you power step, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that anymore. I learned from the players. The guy goes inside, you drop your post foot, that opens your hip up, okay? And you can actually have your inside hand be low so they won't knock it down. And you can clamp with your inside hand. Don't have your inside hand high, and you can use your outside hand. So here's some examples of a tackle, guard, or center. When the guy goes inside, they drop their inside foot to stay in front. Okay.
I'd move.
Now you can play it.
Okay. Watch 74. Is this a clinic on that topic or not? See how he drops that post foot and stops that inside guy? Is this the way your guys stop the inside guy?
Busting balls, right? He switched the stunt.
Okay. Must be the left tackle.
Left tackle. See when that guy goes
Drop
inside?
the post right there. And then he throws the guy inside with his left hand.
Left tackle.
Probably the right tackle.
Left tackle.
Matthews, good player. See the post foot drop? Pigeon toe that thing. He's got him totally covered up. Proof is in the pudding, boys. Proof is in the pudding. Okay. How about this left tackle? There he goes. Drops that post foot. Easiest way to move. Okay. Probably the right tackle. There he goes. It's an ET, end tackle twist. He drops that post, and then he carries him over with his right hand throw. Okay. Left tackle drops the post foot, which opens his hips so he can throw him with his outside arm. Right tackle. Perfect. Unbelievable.
All right, Alex, me and you talked yesterday, and
Yep.
we talked about this. And I told you that I watched the Super Bowl with my team. And in Virginia, we have no rules. We could pretty much practice year round. So, like, we're doing one-on-ones, and I'm having guys losing their post foot all the time. Offensive tackles. And Coach McNally, I thought it was just the guard that you were okay with losing their post foot. And me and Alex talked about this. So, Alex, what you got to ask Coach McNally about this? This
Coach,
is just cool having you two guys here, man. You know,
yeah. Coach, my question would be, do you? Because I think that just happens naturally, don't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why I picked it up, because it was too hard. When they pound that post foot, it locks their hip. Plus, as they're power stepping, they have more of a tendency to use their inside hand. When you drop your post foot, okay, your inside arm can go back and you can be strong, and they can't knock that inside hand down. But yes, it is natural. It's just like the old days when you tried to teach everybody a lead step. The center could never lead step. He'd have a nose right on him. When he snapped the ball, he had to drop that foot or brace it or whatever you want to call it, even though the line coach said, oh, we teach that lead step. But you're right. Yeah. The players do it naturally.
Yeah. So when we talk about it in our room, I don't talk about pounding the post. I talk about trying to flatten the defender, you know?
Right.
And I think when you flatten the defender, like you had one clip there of the Arizona Cardinals guy doing it.
Yep. Yes.
So flattening the fender is what I need to be telling the guys, Coach.
Yeah, flatten them out. Well, and I think if you flatten them out, you'll probably drop your inside foot.
So do you?
So my question, I think I was buffering there.
Yeah.
Coach, you don't teach them to switch their set, right?
No, absolutely I do. I mean, now it's got to come with repetition, but I might have a guy give them a head fake and pinch inside and work on them, you know, whether they jumped the guy or they took a normal set. When that guy goes inside, drop that post. I would have a drill for it. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Now, Coach, do you ever worry about when they drop the post, if there's somebody that's twisting back to the outside?
No, because if you drop your post properly and pigeon toe it, you'll stay square. And as long as you take your outside hand and as you drop your post and that guy pinches and you throw him, as soon as you throw him, you back up. Because you'll know it's a twist. You know, if the guy pinches in real hard and as you're moving with him, when you throw him, that'll displace him. And then you just back up. Anytime you think there's a twist or you can eyeball a twist or you can kind of tell if it would be like, say, a TT with the right guard, that guard can throw that guy and then back right up.
Yeah.
Most of the time you only drop the post when you're kind of getting beat. When you just set and the guy comes into you, you don't necessarily drop the post. It's when he's gone inside.
Right.
The only way to stay in front of him, other than that, you have to turn your shoulders on an angle and you push the guy on the pile and then you are turned. You're actually going to stay squarer when you drop your post. And if you ever want to stay square, whatever foot is leading pigeon toes or tries to pigeon toe in, no one will ever get perfect at it. But if you toe out, you'll open up. If you pigeon toe in as you're moving, whether you're moving outside or inside, that'll keep the shoulder square.
Yeah. So how should I coach my high school guys? Should I even mention don't lose the post foot or just to cover the dude up? Pass block them. Is that oversimplification?
Don't get beat inside. They better have an inside target with their eyes. And that guy goes, don't watch their head, obviously. When that guy goes inside, drop that post foot. But you got to drill it. It doesn't happen, necessarily automatically where they'll be good at it.
Yeah, because I remember when the guy used to go inside, they would say turn it into a run block. I guess that's pound the post. But now it's just flattening out, right, Alex? Is that what you coach?
Yeah.
What would you tell your high
It
school guys?
almost looked like it would almost look exactly like what Coach McNally was showing on tape, where there's a natural where they drop they're never going to be able to pound the post forward, so there's a natural drop in of the post when the guy comes inside.
You can't move with a locked foot in the direction you're going. You can jump a guy now, okay, with a foot, but if you're moving and you lock that foot, the guy's going to edge you. You lock your post foot, the guy's going to edge you inside, wherever the hell the inside is on this camera. Yeah. When you lock your post foot, okay, but one of the adages Paul Alexander used to say, he said, feet before hands.
Feet before
that
hands.
means don't stick your hand out, they'll knock it down. I never quite understood what he meant. But then when I noticed that you drop the post foot, the foot goes before the hand. The guy goes inside, you drop the post. You don't try to reach out with your hand and block him. You try to catch up with him. So you don't have to worry about the hands being too soon if you drop your post foot.
Alex, you got anything else you want to ask Coach about that?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Oh yeah.
See, and I never even heard of that because I was watching the Super Bowl and I thought a guy lost his post foot, and I'm sitting there like an expert saying the guy lost his post foot. No, he intentionally lost the post foot. All right, here we go, Coach.
May not have. Watch the center here. Let's say his post foot is left foot.
Here's the centers dropping their post foot. Okay. So really, it's a cross face. Number 60 is kicking right. Okay. He drops his other foot, which is basically his post foot. I would up kick him, though. I wouldn't just set normal. I'd always up kick the center. But that's beside the point. Center changing his post foot. That was a great look at it. Okay, let's see this center right here. Okay. All right. He starts to kick right. He kicks left. He drops his other foot, which is really his post foot. If you consider his kick foot his lead foot. Okay. Let's watch this center here. Kelsey. Now he's picking up a twist. So to pick up that twist, he has to drop his right foot to pick it up. You wouldn't keep that right foot forward and posted. Okay. So he's kicking to his left, and then he drops his right foot to pick up the twist. Okay. Same guy. Kelsey. Similar twist. You got to have a dropped foot to pick up somebody edging you. Unless you use an initial up kick. So he could up kick with his left foot and still have his right foot dropped. Good stuff, huh?
Yeah. So I knew about the center changing his post foot because, Alex, you don't know this, but Coach McNally, you do. I played college football at Clinch Valley College for Coach Bill Ramsire. And Coach Ramsire had been the head coach at Wilmington College. And Coach McNally actually, can you tell the story? How did Coach Ramsire know you, and how, when I was in college, did I learn about all this stuff? The kick and the post, Coach McNally?
Yeah, I understand that from Coach Ramsire.
Yeah, and Coach Ramsire, that's where y'all used to go and do y'all's summer camp.
Yeah,
was at Wilmington, and he used to sit in with you and with Paul Brown and Coach Walsh, and he learned this stuff from y'all. So it's crazy that the guy I played for had learned from you. So do you remember teaching Coach Ramsire this stuff?
I don't remember, but I remember Coach Ramsire. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But do you remember Coach Koo?
I do not, but I do remember Coach Koo because he'll be listening.
Yeah. He did a Zoom with Coach Koo. Okay. And Coach said he's not doing any more podcasts. One of the coolest things, Alex, was I got the best defensive coordinator of all time's cell number. And I hit him up. And he actually responded to me. Who is this guy, Coach McNally, that I texted? It was the defensive coordinator, Dick LeBeau. I texted Dick LeBeau, Alex, and he actually responded with the nicest rejection I've ever gotten. And he said that he wasn't going to start doing podcasts. Now, anything you'd like to ask Coach Alex?
You know what, Coach McNally, you were talking about the up kick with the center. The up kick with the center, if I'm a right-handed center, and I've got a shade to my right hand,
right,
and I up kick, are you coming single under with your snap hand? Are you bringing that snap hand under?
The good players will get that hand up anyway, but strictly because they know the snap count. But the alternate way would be to come under rather than with a pillar. It just come up under. The key is the near foot to the nose guard actually gets your body moving forward and stuns him rather than always kicking to the side of the shade where you give a soft shoulder, really. And that's why in pass rush drills, when the center is got a shaded nose guard, if he wants to just go straight ahead, the center's never going to win unless the center's so much better football player than the guy rushing him. So, yeah, I would, once I learned the up kick, because I didn't know it. I knew it that Jim Hannafin and his assistant, Tom Lavatt, when they were way back at the Rams, when they were the St. Louis Rams, St.
Don
Louis
Coryell.
Cardinals initially.
With Don Coryell.
Yeah, way back. Their jump protection was to step forward with their outside foot. I don't even think they had a name for it. And then I remember Alex Gibbs would talk about it, and he might use it certain ways. Then I started thinking about it, and then I started coaching it, and then I refined it. And I found out I found out a bunch of things about it. And I would say, unless there was some unusual looks, maybe in some overloads, depending on where the 3 is, not a 4-eye, maybe in some situations where there's all kinds of walk around people and a 0 nose, I would use the up kick every play, center or guard. Now, tackles are a little different because sometimes there's a 4-eye, there's an overload. They've got to set more vertical because they don't want to get picked. But if there was only one block that I could use on pass pro with the centers and guards, it would be an up kick.
Coach, you would even up kick if you're a guard, you have a 3 technique and you're sorting to the 3. Would you even up kick the guard on the 3?
Yes, I would, but because the center's coming, okay, and the center may be fading to his right, okay, you could probably do an up post to the defender's face because you got inside help. And when I say an up post, you could probably take your inside foot and step forward, and with your inside hand, hit him in the face. Okay. The reason for the up kick is for the man side, basically. Because when you're on the man side, there is no center help. When you up kick, you protect the outside with your foot and your hand going forward. But if you really studied it, your post foot is back. You didn't drop your post foot, but when you step forward with your outside foot, your inside foot is automatically behind you. So as you set, you're really inside out. You've protected the outside and the inside, and it's the very, very best technique to use on the man side. If the guy's a little loose, you foot fire 2 steps laterally, and then you up kick. You can switch stunts. I had a guy named Alex Redmond. I must have had 50 clips on him at a cool clinic 3 or 4 years ago. And he was devastating. I mean, he would get a guy before they get out of their stance. And there's a lot of things to it. The inside arm driving back, okay? If I'm using this arm, the other arm driving back lengthens the pillar. If you drop your inside foot as you strike, it lengthens the pillar. Basically, because of twists, you can pretty much stone that 3 technique before he even hardly gets out of his stance. Now, if he's wider, you got to move laterally. But yeah, it protects the best of both worlds. And I'm kind of disappointed that more people don't know about it because it's a hidden gem, and I think it just confuses people.
Yeah. Coach, who in today's NFL would you say, is there an old line coach that, man, you know what, he really uses the up kick?
I would say the Bengals use it, and I would say the Browns. But the Bengals use, I mean, I got 100 snaps of the Bengals using it.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the up kick and the jump set?
Well, if you jump, you're up kicking, okay? That means you're stepping forward into the guy. All right. Other kinds of jumps are called forward jumps. That means where you foot fire forward with both feet, okay? And you don't necessarily have one foot in front of the other, okay? So there's either a forward jump. You may have to go lateral and then forward. You may have to go lateral and then up kick, okay? You may up kick now. You may foot fire to a forward jump right now. But the base of my pass protection, if I were to start over again and coach again, centers and guards never back up. Never fucking back up.
We got some comments here. Brett Cooper, who is big in youth football, I follow him on Facebook. He said, Jim McNally's the best O-line coach, a guru in the game. Brett Cooper football junior academic All-American Bowl. James McNally worked with me years ago and was a big part of developing the future of the NFL. Mark Corey said, this is pure gold. Mike Warder said, Coach McNally, I don't want to interrupt your teaching, but you're a mentor to our head coach, Willamette University, Isaac Parker. And then the bald Coach K. All right, that your best friend is the head coach at University of Miami. My best friend married a doctor, and he lives in $1 million house in St. Petersburg. All right, and his name is the bald Coach K. He coached Isaiah Wynn, so he was a great coach. It's like coaching Anthony Munoz. Good job, Anthony. How many times can you say good job, Anthony, Coach?
I had to stop because
he said, watch it from.
He had 27 pancakes one game, and they weren't all on the run.
Watching from St. Petersburg, Florida, 727. Huge shout out to Coach McNally and the real Mr. 305, Coach Mirabal, the Mr. Worldwide 305. So what's on your mind, Alex? What are you thinking from what Coach is saying?
No, it's listen, Coach, during spring break, I was watching all the things you've been putting on Twitter, and today was our first practice after spring break, and Coach, pre-practice we were up kicking like motherfuckers. So yeah, absolutely, they got no choice. They're up kicking now, and it's awesome because you have to. You're obviously these kids. You know, the guys I've got right now are 18, 19, 20 years old. So you gotta retrain them. You know what I'm saying? You got to retrain them. You got to get rid of some of those habits. But you know, and I was showing some of the film that you were showing, and I was getting some of the film from you know, that Joel Bitonio. He's a real good jump set guy. Bitonio, the kid from the Browns.
He did a forward jump.
He went to foot fire.
Wyatt Teller, the right guard, they went forward.
Yeah.
They
but your
close the
guys,
space.
your guys with the guys at the Bengals, obviously they're still being influenced by your teachings, because I know
Yes.
that they do a lot of it.
Yes, they do. Yep, absolutely.
So how does
Okay,
that make you feel, Coach McNally, that the
play the
University
next
of
fucking
Miami is doing it?
video.
He wants to get to video. He wants to get to football.
Absolutely.
He don't
Come
want
on.
to talk about all this.
Pass protection.
Foot 5.
I hate it because I'd rather jump the guy.
Let's stop right there. This right guard, he's got a guy in a 3 technique, but he's not sure that he's not leaning inside. So what he does is he moves his right foot once and his right foot again. He never moves his inside foot, but he foot fires. But instead of moving both feet, he just foot fires with his right foot. Bah, bah, bah. Now, he's not jumping the guy that I'd prefer, but watch what he's doing. He says, man, this guy's tight enough that he might go inside. He does not move. He doesn't move outside and again get beat inside where he's got to drop his post. He stays right where he is, and watch him move his right foot twice. We call this a K to a kick. So his right foot up and down, that's a K. When he widens it, it's almost like he's taking an initial kick step. Watch his feet.
Rather go forward, 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 either with an up kick or a forward jump. I hate just setting on the line. Okay, but this guy is just doing a regular set, a normal set, but watch what he does with his feet. Okay, watch his feet. See, the guy's like in a 3, but watch, he doesn't really go anywhere. He doesn't take big kick steps. He just fires his right foot twice, and then he moves his left foot, and he uses his outside punch and his inside clamp, but he's just doing a regular set. He's not doing a forward jump or an up kick jump. Okay? You got the feet? Can you see the feet? This is how your guys' feet should move. No big fucking kick slides. Okay? Throw those big kick slides out. Watch him draw his left elbow back. That lengthens the right arm on the strike. Watch how proactive he is with the strike with the right hand. Do you strike this fast with your outside hand?
I mean, this whole deal about using one hand to punch, that's all new to me. But to y'all, one arm's longer than 2. And I mean, that was something I picked up. Alex, what have you got anything you want to ask Coach about that?
No, because that's something that it made a lot of sense to me when I heard it years and years and years ago. And I know Coach McNally, I've seen him do it, and everybody does it, right? And I tell my guys all the time, if you put both hands out and all of a sudden you draw one back, your other one's going to be longer, you know? So if you have a kid do that, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think more important on that look was how quick his feet were moving. Yeah. Yep. All right.
Here's a guard getting bull rushed. Watch what he does. He hops back. Watch his feet hop. Boom. That lowers his center. And when he refits his hands, he refits one at a time. You see him refit? If he refits both hands at the same time, then he's given up his chest and he doesn't have a strong hand on the guy. So only refit one hand at a time. Watch him arch his back right there. Okay? No flat back. Okay? Arch of the back. That's where you're the strongest. Okay? Yeah. There it is. Is that your guys? Arching their back, driving their feet, rooting their feet. There you go.
Coach McNally, when you go to regroup, why aren't you only doing one hand at a time?
Because if you take both hands off, you have nothing on the guy. And he can drive you back further. If at least you have one hand on the guy, you have some stability, okay? And then you refit the other hand.
When you started posting
And,
this
and
stuff,
actually what we do teach them, so they don't have to think a lot with constant repetition, we teach them to refit the inside hand first, because that's the closest hand to the quarterback.
when you started posting this stuff, Coach McNally, on Twitter, did you think that college coaches from all around the country would be watching your posts? Or did you even think this was possible?
Well, I didn't think it was. I didn't even think about it. All I thought about is 3/4 of them were going to say, "Oh, this shit's too complicated. Oh, Jesus, he just works with NFL guys." Shit, I did this with 7th graders when I used to coach the little league guys. Yeah. Now this is something that
defensive guy puts.
Let me talk first. This is something that an experienced guy, and that's why I ran it back a lot, would confuse. He'd be confused. Okay. That's why I tried to run it back a lot. So the guy in the red, Scott Peters, is getting bull rushed by the guy in the blue. Okay. Now, if you watch what Scott does with his left hand, he comes back under to reset his hand. Okay. He knocks the defensive guy's right elbow off, and he grabs his wrist with his left hand, which drives the wrist down and makes him fall down. And then he takes the right hand and torques him. So go real slow.
All right, Coach, we're on Twitter. I'm going to do the best I can.
Here's another count.
You want me to mute you?
No.
Of when the defensive guy over here, this is the blocker, the defensive guy puts his hands in your chest. Watch the blocker take his left hand and put it underneath, refit, and then knock the elbow down with like a swat or a torque. You got to watch it very slowly, okay? It's part of the bull rush drill. Here we go.
Do the same thing.
Okay. Hop. Refits his hand. Knocks the arm off.
Do the same thing.
And watch his left hand grab the elbow and pull it down right there. It's martial arts stuff.
Watch him.
But I think we could teach it to anybody.
Do the same thing.
And then watch the other hand torque.
Same thing.
And all blocks with the
Alex, you got anything you want to ask him about that?
No, I'm good.
slow. Watch these magic hands.
You want to say anything, Coach McNally, before we start on this one?
No.
It's okay. I'll try to go slow. Okay.
Go to the next one.
The guy in the black is blocking. Okay.
Okay.
Going out to jump. This is angle A, about a 30-degree angle going out to jump the guy. Most of them use double clamps, but here's, let's go, 78. It's a drop back pass. See the flat angle? Here he is again. Watch this cowboy. He uses the outside hand.
Hey, Coach McNally, let me ask you something. When Villanueva, when he lost his post foot there, what's the coaching point? What should I say when that happens in practice when we're doing one-on-ones?
He lost his post foot.
But then what? Like, what should he do?
Keep going inside.
Just cover him up?
pigeon toe and keep kicking that inside foot like you're the other guard.
See how flat his angle is? The only problem with that is you might be able
see
to
right here when he strikes, almost let it go.
get picked.
Stop right there.
If it was like a
stop before he strikes the guy if you can.
Yes, sir.
get
There.
One more click. There.
That's pretty good, ain't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
If you use angle A, which is a flat angle, 30 degrees, and you stay as square as you can, look how far inside out he is. Okay? Where Villanueva went too far and he used two hands. This guy uses his outside hand only, and look where he strikes. He strikes the guy in the face, maybe the inside number, but he's on him so fast that he's protecting the outside with the hand, stoning him, and he's so far inside out that it's almost impossible to get beat inside. Look how far inside out he is. That's because you only want to use the outside hand on angle A, okay? Because if you use two hands and you get too close to him, he'll beat you inside. Because you're so flat, you're vulnerable to get beat inside if you go too far. Like the theory of foot to crotch, he's not foot to crotch. He's hardly even foot to foot. But because of the length of the outside arm, he can stone him and take away the outside. We learned this, Callahan and I learned this from DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
He was a good one.
Which we'll show you initially. And then we refined it to only use the outside hand because you don't have to go as far. If you use two hands, you'll get almost in front of him and they can beat you inside. Why can they beat you inside? Because you're on such a flat angle. You're not giving depth. If you have depth, you can react to the inside because you got space to react in. With this, you're so flat, if you get beat inside, you have no time to recover. That's why you're always inside out on angle A. When would I use this? When there's no threat of the TE. Okay, how do you know when there's a TE? I guess I'm saying every time there's a shade, okay, I would do it. Now, they can still do a TE from a shade. And how many times is there a shade? There's a 3 and a shade 90% of the time, other than on long yardage where they go 3 down. It's part of my jump by the tackles, angle A.
TE stunned. But
Let it go.
again, there's angle A.
And he traps him.
Okay.
It's the other tackle. It's not this
angle guy. The tackle.
I think it's the other tackle that we go to.
Almost totally parallel.
You see right there? You see how he got beat inside?
Yes, sir.
Because he used two hands.
So a lot of these guys, when they lose their post foot, it's because they're using their inside hand.
Almost totally parallel.
Or they're using two hands. But you keep talking about losing the post foot. It's okay to lose the post foot.
Yes, sir.
The post foot.
Just keep blocking them, is what you're saying. Keep foot firing.
I'm saying that if you lose the post foot, you drop it and try to stay in front of them. All right, watch this guy.
Cover him up.
Look how flat he is. In his own little way. It's a little different. I mean, he looks a little better, but he's flatter. He's flatter. The guy that did it the best was the guy from Dallas.
This is really a perfect one.
Now, this is pretty good footwork.
Watch this guy.
Let's see his hands. There it is.
See, he could stop right there.
He could stop right there.
Because the hand makes up the distance.
He goes too far.
To get your part of your body on him. Punch him right now.
Almost stop where there's green grass.
Right in the face.
What I'm saying to you, stop where you can still see green grass. Don't stop when you can see part of him, because your arm will reach him. Yeah, keep going to the next guy. The green guy, the Miami Dolphin guy. Oh, was that the last one?
This is the Brickshaw right here, Coach.
No.
From UVA,
I want you to.
Where
Okay,
we
go
learned
ahead.
That was the last clip.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Here's where we learned angle A.
Bill Callahan with the Jets.
This is playing long.
Here's where we learned angle A from DeBrickashaw
I don't
Ferguson.
remember if he used
this
two
left
hands or one
tackle,
hand.
when I was working with Bill Callahan with the Jets.
He was a martial arts guy, DeBrickshaw.
Watch his sets. Okay.
See, he
Angle
used two
A.
hands. I'd only use my. He went too far. You don't have to go that far. I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm saying you don't have to go that far.
Almost a flat
because your
set.
arm will reach him.
And the defensive end's got to come to you, right? If you try to go to him, he's going to jump inside of you, right, Coach?
Well, you're always going to go towards him. All I'm saying is you're only going to go as far as when you strike him. You might only strike him on the inside number. You might only strike him in the face mask. You're not trying to strike him on the outside number. You're not trying to get foot to crotch with him. You're trying to get maybe foot to foot with him. Maybe your outside foot only goes as far as his inside foot. Because you're so flat, if he goes inside, you can't recover. Whether you drop your post foot or not, because you're so flat. Mathematics, the deeper you are, the more you can recover the movement. The flatter you are, if the guy goes inside, you're beat. You can't recover. You have no time or space. There's no space between you of depth-wise.
Alex, you got anything you want to ask Coach about that? Because Brett Cooper's asked a question.
No, I'm good. I understand it.
Yeah, I'm the low man on the totem pole here,
No,
man.
hell no.
This is a question for the up and coming O-line. What should you work on to master flexibility and agility, or power and strength? I know you need all, but some players are usually going with, on, or the other. Should they worry more about flexibility and agility, or power and strength? Alex, you want to answer this one so Coach McNally doesn't have an aneurysm.
Flexibility and agility.
And why is that, Coach?
I got to be able to move. Got to be able to move. Got to be able to bend. Got to be able to twist. Got to be able to move. Got to be able to get yourselves in and out of bad positioning. So to me, that's important.
Yeah. So you're looking at their feet. Can they move?
Yeah, I look at two things. I look at when I'm recruiting a kid, I'm looking at it feet, because you can't teach feet and length. And when I say length, I'm not talking about height. I'm talking about more length of arms. Coach McNally was showing some great clips there of Tyron Smith and even Villanueva, and you had DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Those guys are very, very long. I mean, and so when they do what Coach McNally was talking about using one is longer than two, those guys became like inordinately long, so that's something that to me, when I walk into a high school, or I go to a high school practice and I'm checking out a player, I'm not necessarily checking out height. I'm checking out how long are their arms, because to me, that's what's important.
I can't remember if I asked Coach McNally this or Strollo, but how can you tell? Do you just look, or do you measure?
You measure them.
You measure their length of their arms.
Is it
From
is
here.
it the wingspan?
From here, see that tip? To the tip of their finger.
And what is good, Coach McNally? What's a good number?
36. 35.
Okay, Steve's got a question here, Coach. Steve's pretty sharp from West Florida. What's the difference if a right guard has a 2-eye and he steps with his inside foot first and defensive tackle slaps his hand and continues into the A gap. The guard should drop his post and get his outside hand involved and cover him up.
I think Steve's just playing for us because I think I've covered this with Steve. I'm breaking his balls a little bit. If the guy's in a 1 or 2 technique, I never use my inside hand. I immediately drop the post and strike with my outside hand. Because if I give them my inside hand at all, they can knock it down. That's why I never want to give the inside hand. So I always use the outside hand, even the guy's a 1 technique or a 2 technique. Okay, I don't have to step forward and up kick them or jump them because the guy's already head up or inside. I just drop my post and I stab him almost right in the face with my outside hand. That leaves my inside hand low because if they try to go inside, I can clamp it or I can lift it, but I'm not giving it to them so they can knock it down. Because if you give them your inside hand, even if you shoot it pretty good, they're good at knocking the inside hand down, and that's the direct route to the quarterback. Who cares if they knock your outside hand down? They got to go all the way around you to get to the quarterback. But hopefully, if you're proactive enough, jumping, you get on them before they can even knock your outside hand down. When the guy's head up or inside, I just punch with the outside hand and I drop the post. I predeterminedly drop the post and punch with the outside hand. I don't have to up kick. I don't have to forward jump them.
Brett Cooper said, Alex, great response. Players need to hear that. All right, so some more film, Coach.
Let me talk about this first.
This one right here?
Yeah. Now, we wanted to find a way that we could get the tackles. No, not this one. Yeah, this one. That we could get the tackles.
Here's where we learn.
Yeah, but that was the end of that clip, Coach. So we're going.
Yes. Yeah, we're going
go to the next clip.
Next clip. Yep. You were already on it.
Yeah, it was like the end of the video, Coach. Hold on. All right, I gotta go back. I got it, Coach. I got it. I mean, I don't think this has ever been done. Someone's
Not
having
this-
a clinic using Twitter film. I mean, yeah.
Okay, now.
I would not use.
All right, look, this is what we did here. We wanted to find a way that the tackles could use an up kick, but the guy was so far away from them. If they went too flat with their foot fire, like if they just
There's an up kick
fired
mostly by a
laterally and
guy
then
named
up kick,
Parnell.
the guy would beat him. So we found a guy that did it. His name is Parnell. He kicked and he slid. He went back on an angle, like angle B, and then he stepped forward with his outside foot. So we found a guy that taught us how to do it, but what we didn't like what he did was he used 2 hands. So we just incorporated this guy's footwork with just using the outside hand. So if you'll note what he does, he kicks, he slides, then he kicks forward with his outside foot. So he doesn't do an up kick right now. He does a kick step, he slides his inside foot, then he up kicks with his outside foot. The reason we wanted to find this is to give us a little bit of time. If they were to do a tackle end stunt, he could twist it. I mean, he could switch it.
Switch it off.
He didn't just jump the guy right now. He got off the ball, then he went forward. But we don't like the 2 hands he used. We like the 1 hand being inside out. But watch how a tackle can up kick versus a loose guy.
Kicked mostly by a guy named Parnell. The only thing is I would not use 2 hands. I would still use the outside pillar and keep the inside hand low. So I do not like the 2 hands, but there's a good example of a kick slide, then an up kick by a tackle versus a wide guy. Let's watch him.
It'll go back. He took 2 kick slides.
I think he might take 2 kick slides.
See his
Then
outside
he
foot
steps
go
forward with his outside foot. Use the outside arm only.
Because when you use
An
your
aggressive
outside foot, you
technique when
get
the guy's
closer to the guy.
wide and you're afraid to use angle A.
It'll keep going.
When you use 2 hands, you almost get 2 off balance. Here's the right tackle that went a little too far.
He went too far.
Stay inside
out.
out. But good example of
Your outside
kick
foot on his
slide,
inside
up kick.
foot.
Hit him in
No.
the face.
Yeah.
Outside
Yes, your
hand,
outside foot can be
not
where his
inside
inside foot
hand.
is. Yes.
I couldn't find a whole
See, he
lot where
went
they
too
weren't
far.
using 2 hands. You don't need to use 2 hands. Okay, here's
Here's
Parnell
the same
again.
guy, Parnell.
Okay.
See, he
You
reaches
actually
with
kinda
2
reach.
hands.
Okay, Coach, let me ask you. You would use this because after this guy's kicked, basically that defender, he's kind of in a gray area. Like,
No, I'm using it because I want to be aggressive with my pass sets with my tackles
How come I
and
can't
not
hear?
just normally do normal pass blocking and
All of
let
a
the
sudden
guy
the thing
run over
stopped.
me or run by me. I want to
Nina
take
called.
the action to him. I don't want for me to read him. I want for him to read me. So forget all the bullshit about now watch his inside shoulder, watch to see if his inside foot's back, watch to see. Fuck that. You take it to him. You make him read you. You're the aggressive one.
Oh, the mic. That's weird. I don't know. Hit play.
Give me my phone from the kitchen table, please, Al. No, me neither.
No, that wasn't the guy. I don't
Let me
think.
see. Okay, this will probably be the left tackle.
This might be something like it. See, he's actually making contact off his outside foot. He's jumping the guy, but he's kick sliding first.
yeah. I think, Coach, Alex, this was when you sent me a message. Is this what really intrigued you? Were you into this? Like when Coach posted all these pages?
He didn't hear you.
Yeah. Hey, Coach McNally, why did you decide to post this?
I must have spent a week on this stuff. So if anybody understood it, I at least was putting it out there. Probably 3/4 of the people didn't understand the lingo.
Okay, so do you want to explain what this was?
No,
Alex,
I don't.
did you read this stuff? I don't know. Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, he can't hear you.
The key more than any.
You want to talk about this one, Coach?
Yeah, but what's wrong with Alex? How come he can't hear?
I don't know. Alex, are you muted? He might have locked up, Coach. He might have locked up. Here he is. Hold on. There you go. There's 2 Alexes there.
Coach, I got lost there for a second.
Yeah,
I was watching everything.
I was asking you about the pages. Coach McNally didn't want to talk about the pages, but the pages that he posted, didn't you have an appreciation for that?
Yeah, that was gold. That was awesome. You know, it was awesome seeing some of the insight into Coach, all the different run schemes and how you came up with, you know, the stuff with duo. And it was really, it's cool because obviously we all call something differently, you know, so some of the, you know, the you calls that you have, the me calls, and, you know, the front, the back.
But that was just me thinking. I never have really been able to coach it, but it was just me trying to write a library of things I knew but I don't know if a month later I could repeat them. So I said, I need to put this stuff on paper.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, and it got me to think, okay, well, this is what coach calls it, this is how we call it, but this means this, in that verbiage. And then, the one thing, because I've gotten in arguments before, is when the center has a back point
I hate
on
it.
inside zone. I hate it too.
I hate it.
I hate
That's
it
why
too,
I'd
right?
rather run. It's duo. That is really duo.
No doubt. No
So
doubt.
that's when he's
Amen to
keying
that.
to the backside backer. Is that what y'all are talking about?
Yeah, I hate it. I fucking
Yeah.
hate it, because he's not only got to protect his front side gap, because you always protect your front side gap, but your guy's really backside. Okay, so that means the right guard is on an island because the center's not really coming very hard with you. But that's why I made that center shuffle on the wide zone or the mid zone rather than just take off like the Alex Gibbs fans. I don't do that. I don't tell that guy to take 3 steps and after 3 steps go north.
The sports workbook guys, our sponsor, who sent you your book and sent me my book. And this is when me and you got into it, Coach. You were getting so upset with me about that. What was it? A shade nose and then a 4-eye and a 5 technique, and we're protecting it. But they're going to send you a book, Alex, your own sports workbook for coming on the show.
Appreciate
Coach McNally loves his book, and we were drawing in it, and they're going to send you one. They were so excited that you were coming on the show, Alex. All right, Coach.
It's been awesome.
Coach McNally, are you ready to get back to some more football?
Yeah, I think the video of this guy is just finishing. I'll guarantee you, just because I know I've been coaching since 1965. How many years is that?
That's let's see, 65 to 2000. That would be 35 years. So 35 and then 55, and then it's 58 years. I think that's right.
Almost 60. I'll guarantee you, unless they're lying, there's not a coach out there that has maybe one guy. Maybe they have one guy. They don't have 2. They're bullshitting you if they do. They don't have 3. They're bullshitting if you do. But like this guy was balls out. If somehow, the problem is you can't make them what they aren't. So I guess what I'm telling you is, in recruiting, I guess I'm talking more about the college coaches or the pro coaches or the guys with the junior high guys, developing them. There's no substitute for toughness, finishing the block, second effort. Fuck the feet, fuck the pillar, fuck that. If you can get 4 or 5 guys to be finishing motherfuckers, you're going to kick the shit out of everybody. Now, when they're at a young age, 8th grade, 9th grade, you can install that in them. But when they get to be about a senior in high school or they're into college, you'll never change them. You may get on their ass and ask them to finish, and they'll finish, but they won't finish like this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've got more plays of this guy finishing guys all over the field. Running them all out of bounds. Wyatt Teller does that for the Browns.
And he's from Virginia.
He's the best finisher in the league. This guy's no longer in the league, but watch I'll try to.
The other technique.
You see that right?
See him snap the guy at the finish?
Just a little bit, no. Yeah, just as he finishes, he snaps him. No, you're going too fast.
See him pancake?
No, go back to the first play.
Is this the way your people finish blocks?
This one here
is the key more than any other technique.
You're going to get mad at me. I'm about to say Morgan Moses better be finishing them, Coach.
See, he had that little snap.
Snap
that was
the guy at the finish.
Let's see this next one. Morgan Moses don't finish anywhere near what this guy does.
See him pancake the guy?
See you
62.
look at him. Right guard. Right guard.
See that
see
little
that?
shove at the end?
Everybody else's guy would quit. He's still blocking that guy out of bounds.
Who is he, Coach? What's his name?
His name is Alex Redmond. This guy is on the
pancake?
ground.
Yeah, score through our man. He put him in the end zone.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
See
there,
that
man.
shove right there?
That was your hole.
He's got that double team on the ground.
Hey, Coach McNally, you wanted to talk about that today with the double teams with the duo. You want to go over some coaching points on that right now, or just keep going?
No, just keep going for a while.
Okay.
Hard to see.
Yeah.
Watch.
Is this
Run
your
that back.
guy right here?
Is
Do
this
they
that
finish
these are your
every
guys?
play like?
So, Coach, you don't have to take your Viagra when you watch this, do you?
This is football now. Well, it's legal. Watch him. Boom, boom, boom.
Is this your guy right here?
The
Do
Ravens
they finish
O-line.
every play like this?
Let's see if it's done. I guess it's the film. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. The offensive. So you're saying that like the NFL offensive line coaches, they don't create that culture. Basically, the guys have it or they don't.
I'm not saying they don't create it. I'm saying by the time they get the guy, he may be a first-round draft choice, but he may not have some prick in him. He's got the feet. He's got the athletic ability. He can block the guy, but he's not a prick.
Hey, Coach McNally, who's got the latest late hit of all time in the history of football?
You do. It's unbelievable. Number 50.
The latest late hit of all time. You want to talk about this one, Coach?
Yeah, let me show it to me.
Watch
No, not this one.
62.
We've already seen
We
this
call
one.
this normal pass protection.
No, we've done that.
I hate it because I
You want to go over this
No.
video?
Okay.
This
All
one.
right. All right, run it back. Stop it.
All right.
All right. Okay. These are pictures of blockers firing out, lead stepping. I mean, just straight ahead. Okay. They're not rooted. They're not foot firing. They're not gathering. They're out of control. They're old school flat back, step forward, lead step. And these guys move on defense. You know, they slant, they move, they whatever. So all my stuff, your feet are underneath you. You know, they're behind you. They're rooted. You lunge as your feet are, but you don't step forward. You create displacement, or you displace the guy with the lunge, with the long arms, with rolling the hips, but your feet are underneath you. So let's watch these guys that are out of control. Okay, let her play.
Okay, here's probably the best guard in the NFL, Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame. What I want to show you is he fires out, he pierces, he comes off the ball 100 miles an hour. And then look at him get slung, all right? He gets hit in the chest, his arms wind up a little bit, he's got his head in the block. If he were to just root his feet, arch his back, stick his hands in there, and play with arc strength, this would not happen to him. He's out of control. He's piercing. He's not rooted. So watch the second step, crossover. He's kind of on his toes. Anyway, he's a great player. But what I'm telling you is you don't have to apply force with a lot of momentum. You can be like a brick wall, lift, keep your head out, and when he goes to make the tackle, you pancake him.
Plus, his arms aren't playing long. There's no lockout. There's no length. There's no arrows.
All right, Coach. Dumb question. What's the best way to put that dog in them at a young age?
Okay, here's probably the best
How do you make them not scared? Your opinion. All right, so I'll let Coach McNally, because there was a guy on Twitter that said you were not old school, that he was Coach Old School and he played for Buddy Ryan, but you say you played for Buddy Ryan. You don't have a nose because of Buddy Ryan.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think I was a good finisher, but I wasn't a real prick. I mean, we all know guys that are real pricks. So stop the film, because we're going to the next point then.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is you stuck a question in that has nothing to do with the video we were just watching.
Yeah,
So
I was late with the question. I was late with the question.
That fucks me up. But anyway, so answer that question. You don't talk about killing the guy because he'll go home and tell his mom and dad. You just say, now, boys, we got to really finish the block. Now, here's how we're finishing. We really drive, and then we take one arm and throw him over here, and it's legal. It's not an illegal block. Man, you gotta take it to the other guy. Now, if the guy's a junior in high, hey, motherfucker, you better motherfucking go. But by that time, it's too late. It's too late. If he hasn't developed by the 9th, 10th grade to be a prick, he's never going to be a prick. He's not going to be a prick. 3/4 of the old linemen in the NFL aren't pricks. They are playing because they got the longest arms, they got the best feet, but they're not pricks.
They're not Conrad Dobler.
No, they're not Conrad Dobler. But Conrad Dobler was illegal. So you don't want to be illegal. Now, so in college football, 3/4 of the starters aren't pricks. Okay? The guy that's a prick might be the third string player, but he doesn't have the length, the tall. So what I'm saying is, if you can get the guys with the height, the weight, the strength, and they're also pricks. So when I'm recruiting, I'm just saying, if I had it to do over again, okay, and I been a real long time since college, almost 50 years, but I'd say, is he a prick? If the coach said,
man, my coach coaches like that. Be a prick.
But
you could play for Mike Jacobs.
You can't give up talent, though. Yeah, but my point is, you can't make them a prick once they get into college. Once they get to that 18, 19, 20-year-old, you aren't going to change their personality. You were a prick because you were always a prick.
Yeah, okay? I was coached to be like that, man. And my dad made me tough. Being tough was something we hung our hat on.
But your dad started you when you were what, 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old?
He started when I was 2, beating the crap out of me. He was a Marine.
You don't have to beat the crap out. But what I'm saying to you is, everybody forgets about the toughness because they're all into the height, the weight, the length, this, that, the other, and they're missing what some of the best football players I've ever coached never made it to the NFL. They either weren't tall enough, and Coach Mirabal might say the same thing because he coached 16 years in college. He can tell you 10 guys. He can label. I bet you he can name 10 guys right now without necessarily naming them, because we won't know them, that are tougher than the guys that are tougher than the guys he's playing with.
There's no doubt. Coach McNally, there was one kid who played for us in high school who was actually a linebacker and a fullback named Lane Jackson, who ended up playing at the Naval Academy and then ended up becoming a Navy SEAL. And he was he was a tough motherfucker now.
Cool.
And wasn't a quote-unquote a Power 5 guy, was just tough as shit. But Coach McNally's complete right. I would say over 75% of the kids in college aren't pricks. They're talented and they got that stuff, but they're not pricks. Like our center we got, he's a prick. He's a prick.
So coach has got one.
Yeah, right. But I got one. The other guys.
I know that,
but is it contagious? I mean,
You
is
know
it
what?
contagious?
Well, it's contagious if the guy that's got him when he's an 8th grader or a 9th grader makes him do it. Now, I don't mean he yells at him or screams at him or scares or scares him, but says, you got to finish these blocks, boys. You got to finish these blocks. Let's finish these blocks. And you can develop some of that stuff. I don't know what the age limit is, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years. But by the time they're a junior in high school, if they're not already a prick, you're not going to make them a prick. Okay?
I agree.
You can make them finish blocks, but not to the extent of now you confuse me, Coach. We weren't on this one.
I don't want to confuse you, Coach. All right. Prick. You'll know it when you see it.
But I think there was one before this.
Oh, a play?
When I had the guy from the okay, now
This is-
okay.
these-
So go back
these
to the
are-
previous one.
This
How
is
did
the
we
flat
miss-
back
how did
one.
we- Well, okay. So are we done with that one? Is that one done?
The flat back one? Yeah.
Okay, here's probably
Because
the
they
best.
were playing long.
Okay, so there's not another play with that.
No, sir.
Okay, then this is the next. Okay,
Here's
beautiful. You're good.
piercing by both
Okay.
blockers.
Well,
Now,
let me
this is
talk
something
first.
you are-
Okay, watch the right guard and right tackle. They're running a wide zone, mid zone, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They both pierce. The right tackle thinks the guard's going to help him inside. The guard goes to the right, and then he goes up on the backer. Nobody blocks the guy in the gray area. The right tackle doesn't have to stick his head outside. He can root his feet. He can stick his outside hand in his outside number. If the guy goes out, he can throw him out. If the guy goes in, he can push him to the guard. The guard doesn't have to vacate. He can shuffle. He can back up a little bit, boom, boom, boom. You know what I call shuffling, and decide, should I help the center? Should I help the tackle? But now they both pierce. They both vacate the line of scrimmage. And sometimes when you're too soon, you're too late.
And Alex, how do you feel about piercing? This is something Coach McNally is emphatic about because he taught Alex Gibbs.
I hate it.
He
I
taught
hate the
Alex
wide
Gibbs
zone.
outside zone. How do you
love the
feel about
mid-
piercing?
I like the wide zone, but with mid-zone blocking, which means on the line of scrimmage, uncovered guy shuffles, get some depth because he might have to rewind and help the shade. He might have to go and help the tackle. I like the postman to keep his feet rooted. He moves a little bit, but we'll just watch this right guard and right tackle so Alex can comment.
On a wide zone. Watch the right guard and the right tackle. Okay. The right guard, he doesn't shuffle to get enough depth. The right tackle just crosses over and pierces, okay? And the defensive end comes straight ahead and splits both of them. They're both piercing. That means they're either going straight ahead or on an angle, out of control, crossing over, not rooting on the line of scrimmage, trying to pierce and get position on their men, but they're both out of control.
Yeah, let this full one play and then let Alex.
Here's piercing by both blockers on a wide zone.
I think it just replayed, Coach.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, I think if you're going to pierce, you better make sure that they're not moving up front. And I think I heard Coach McNally say this or tweet this the other day. You better, when you're doing your blocking schemes or your techniques and your fundamentals, you better make sure that you can handle movement. Because nowadays defenses, shit, I don't know what a base defense is. Our base defense, we have a new defensive coordinator here at Miami, and his base defense is moving the front, pirating the front. So you better be able to handle movement. So we would shuffle drag this right here. And I don't know what coach calls it, shuffle, but we would shuffle drag this, which would allow us to be able to, for the guard to be able to handle that penetrating 5 technique, the 5 that's digging.
What does your shuffle drag amount to, Coach? What does it mean?
It's lateral. You know what I'm saying? Lateral. So you shuffle, you lateral, looking into the play side gap. If the defender digs, you can now take them. So you're working laterally. And it'll allow you to handle movement up front. But I think
the only reason that I would shuffle with a little depth, like a kick slide, is the right guard can stick his inside hand up. When he just shuffles parallel, he's not in as good position. So when he loses a little ground, like a kick slide, he's in position to rewind. If he gets on the line of scrimmage, sometimes the nose beats the center, or there's some sort of internal cross dog that the guard. So I do exactly what Alex does, but I'd get the guard a little depth, and then I'd have the right tackle just foot fire laterally and root his feet, not step forward at all. His forward momentum will be with his hands, okay, and his hips. His feet will be behind him. He won't turn. Stay as square as you can for as long as you can.
As long as you can. Yeah. And one of the things that going to what coach is saying too is you need to make sure that your individual drills, sometimes we as coaches, as offensive line coaches, we get caught up in doing drills where it's man-on-man blocking, and instead of you need to do drills 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, so that you need to show your kids the movement that they're going to be getting,
Well,
so I spend more time doing that than one-on-one stuff.
And I'll tell you what, the biggest thing that pisses me off, and I was as much at fault, every single fucking swinging dick out there listening to me does the same thing and has done the same thing. They put a guy holding a bag, or maybe a guy himself on a board, or maybe on air, and then they put here comes the bag, here comes the blocker, and the guy with the bag stands there and lets him hit. That's not what happens in the game. The defensive guy comes at you, or he pinches in, or he pinches out, or he loops, or whatever. How many of us have just held a fucking bag on a board, and here comes the blocker, and the blocker drives the guy at the end of the bag, or you're in the chutes and the guy holds a bag. There's not a play where the defensive guy doesn't come at you or slant out or slant in. You're just holding a bag. I said, how many fucking hours did I waste?
Yeah, and Coach Taylor and Coach McNally, one of the things, and I know I spend more time during individual coaching the defensive guys than I do the guys that are giving the defensive look, that I do the offensive linemen themselves, because you'll have these guys their offensive linemen acting like a 3 technique, and they come out and they don't shoot their hands, so, and then what hand do they have down? What foot do they have back? So I spend as much time doing that as I do actually coaching the offensive lineman during the individual drill. Obviously we get it filmed, so I get to do that and go back and do that. But I think that's important too.
Yeah. The other thing is that really, and it's hard to do because the defensive guys don't always get along with the offensive guys. But the best period is about a 3/4 speed period where you actually, the interior linemen, say tackle to tackle, and maybe you can put a tackle at tight end, block the defensive line. Yeah. Okay, like a 9-on-7 drill without the backs. Okay, and you have a fake back there, and you tell the defense, hey, this is an outside zone, or this is a power play, this is a duo. Okay, we're coming at you, boom, 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 and the guy on defense goes about 3/4. It's a 3/4 drill, but you get a real defender. I mean, how stupid are we that we're offensive guys are blocking offensive guys? Yeah. That's the stupidest thing we can do. If there was ever a football coach, and I know there are some out there that says, hey, slow the drill down. Let's do it a 1/2 to 3/4 speed, but I want the offensive line to block the defensive line. I want the defensive line to see the offensive line. Now, when you go to teamwork, you get 11-on-11. I'm saying a breakdown drill with 5-on-5, or, you don't necessarily always have to have the linebackers there, but the same thing. Some linebackers feel like a mother, okay? Or a lot of linebackers fall back. I mean, if you were to have a drill, you would have linebackers start this way, okay? And then they fall back. That's what happens. 90% of the film, nobody blocks the linebackers. The greatest number 1 team in football, whoever they are, they never block the linebackers because they always fall back, or the running back doesn't go where he's supposed to go because there's a big hole somewhere else. And very rarely do you ever block the linebackers.
Man.
Yeah. Coach McNally, we do a drill, especially during spring ball. We do it every day during spring ball, and then we do it once a week during the season. We call it block destruction, and that's our last period of individual, and it's the O line and the D line, and we come together. We come together. I get behind the D line, and I'll say, "Hey, we're going to run 12 right here." I point at the right guard and at the center, and I say, "We're going to run 12," and the guy's in a 3 technique, 2-eye, whatever, and boom, we run our inside zone at him. Then I'll go to the right tackle and I'll give him, okay, we might run wide zone, we might run inside zone. And that way the defense has to recognize the block and they have to defeat the block. And we are actually, so we do that. And it's been an awesome period for us.
Great job, Coach. That's a terrific job. I told Coach Callahan to not only put the down lineman, but put linebackers in there because they fall back all the time. You know, the running back cuts back and the guards. And I'll tell you what's a lot of bullshit, where I don't see anybody block anybody. I mean, pro, college, high school, I don't see anybody block anybody. They run a jet sweep one way. They bring another guy coming back to block the backside end, or they bring a guy. Maybe they bring both guys the same way. They always think they're going to push. What I mean by push is the center and back guard are going to block the front backer, which I like. I don't like blocking the back linebacker. But then they got some fucking fancy jet sweep going the other way or reverse fake. And then the linebacker doesn't stay in the proper course. And then the center and the guard that are blocking have to be more square on the guy, knowing the backer is going to fall. I'm just saying all the happy horse shit that we're doing with faking jets and bringing guys back and reverse fakes did work the first 4 or 5 years. Now they suck. Yeah.
Man, does the motion screw you up front? If it does, don't use it.
Absolutely. Tom Moore, who's one of the great coaches, he's still coaching.
Yeah, Bucks.
He never switched the receivers. No, I mean
same formation.
Well, he ran 3-by-1 or 2-by-2, and he did run some 12 personnel, but he never even. And because we said, Tom, why don't you put the guy in motion? He says because it screws up the offensive line.
Yeah,
but I'm not saying that I'm so old school that I don't understand jet sweeps. But I mean, they think the jet sweep's going to handle the force man. That's bullshit. That force man can see the ball.
So you want to account for the force man with the blocker, Coach McNally.
They want the jet sweep guy to control the force man because somebody's got to block to go, oh, shit. Half the guy, that guy makes the tackle.
Yeah, Kelly Sierra. Yeah, go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
No, Coach McNally, Coach Taylor, I got to jump off.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to thank you guys. And Coach McNally, Coach Taylor, I'm going to get your addresses because I got to send you guys a University of Miami t-shirt, all right?
Okay. Well, when's the last time you've been to Coral Gables, Coach McNally?
Oh my God, Coral Gables. Well, I don't.
Coach, they got to get you down there, Coach. You got to go to Coral Gables. I'm a high school coach.
The coach from the Eagles, when he coached at Miami, brought me down there probably 15 years ago.
Coral Gables, Coach. It's a lot nicer than Buffalo.
Coach Stoutland.
Oh.
All right, Sports Workbook said, get ready for your book, Coach Marshall. Kelly Sierra said, we're so excited to have your wisdom and passion for the trenches in Miami. This Atlanta family is behind the U 100%. So, Coach, thank you for coming on. Me and Coach McNally is going to sit here and talk a little bit more football until he gets upset with me and tells me that I need to leave. But my girlfriend said, Coach McNally, do you still have your helicopter pilot's license?
I asked Coach Troy Taylor, who never cusses, and he's a fine Christian man. I said, how do you keep that good-looking girl happy?
I think I need to mute him. I think, yeah. Look at him. Hey, see you, Coach. See you.
All right, guys.
Bye, Coach. You're the best, man. Oh, hey. That was pretty fun, wasn't it? He's pretty sharp, ain't he?
Yeah, he's he's probably pretty sharp. Yeah, I agree.
He's probably great. Look at some more film, Coach.
Yeah, go to the next play. Okay, well,
Here we go.
okay, let's
There's
see
my
this one.
guy. That's Trent. That ain't
Watch
my
the
guy
left
going
tackle.
down.
Left tackle.
Watch the left tackle pierce the line of scrimmage. Okay. There's a 3 and a 7, and they pinch. The left tackle goes so hard to get his linebacker, okay, that he doesn't even worry about either helping the guard or the tight end. When you got a 3 and a 7, just read it. Foot fire in place, come back and double team the defensive end. But you see how he pierces the line of scrimmage? He doesn't stay on the line and see who he has to help. Same stuff. Don't pierce the line of scrimmage, especially if you feel there's any pirates or pinching, etc. Easy description.
Okay, let's do this one.
Watch his arms. Watch this left tackle play short. Okay.
Right tackle, excuse
Watch
me.
his
Right tackle.
arms as they move. Okay. You see how he shoulders 91 or the defensive end? He doesn't lock his arms out or his outside arm out. Okay. He just accepts the blow. Okay. The right tackle. And watch 91 flatten him out. Okay. So he knows he's got to work with the tight end because there's a one technique. If he just roots his feet, fires his feet, okay, and then locks his right arm out and root in place. But when he just sticks his shoulder out, he gets flattened out. See him get flattened out? He gets flattened out by number 91 and 48. And then the scrape linebacker obviously is free.
Okay, let's try this one. Is it got voice to it?
No, Coach. I don't got any voice. Hold on, Coach.
Play
My
long.
fault. I'm
Here's
flipping, Coach.
Here's videos of players playing short.
I got a negative on this.
Here's videos of players
I'm not
playing
going to grade
short.
out like Anthony Munoz.
Watch this tight end. He never gets to arrows with his hands. Okay? Watch
See the tight end?
He gets hit in the chest by the defensive guy. He winds up, he clamps, he doesn't play long. Okay. Here's the next tight end. Okay. See him get hit in the chest? He winds up the arms. The defender hits him in the chest.
Woo!
Okay, here's the
Play
left
long with Von
guard.
Miller.
Okay. Okay, that's why. See how
Who
he
we
kind of
talking
plays
about?
with his
You were
shoulder,
talking.
lines up his arms, turns his pads.
Who we
Okay.
talking about? I lost.
You-
You lost the first part of it. The left tackle.
Oh, I just said you got to play long when you're playing against Von Miller because Von Miller just
I know
destroyed
that
that
but
guy.
You were talking when this started, so you have to go back a little bit.
Okay, sorry, Coach.
Here's
That's okay.
videos of players playing short. Watch this tight end. He never
Okay.
gets to arrows with his hands. Okay. Watch the tight end. He gets hit in the chest by the defensive guy. He winds up, he clamps, he doesn't play long. Okay. Here's the next tight end. Okay. See him get hit in the chest? He winds up the arms. The defender hits him in the chest. Okay, here's the left guard.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's watch him. See how he kind of plays with his shoulder, winds up his arms, turns his pads, okay? Uses the shoulder and not the lockout of the arms or the hands. I think this is the tight end again. Watch him get hit in the chest. Defensive guy hits him in the chest before the blocker hits the defender in the chest. That's playing short. Okay. Here's probably the left tackle. Watch the left tackle get hit by the side. He's not playing long with either hand. I believe this is the left guard. 74. Watch him get pancaked. Watch him draw his arms back. See the right arm draw back? There's no length, okay? He gets pancaked.
Ooh, he got bent back.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Steve is on now, Coach. Steve's been watching all night. He's been watching Alex. He's been watching you. Steve, have you got any questions you want to ask Coach from what you've seen so far tonight? Anything you'd like to say to him?
Yeah, Coach. Okay, just follow me here. I know I want to go back to I'm a right guard. Okay, pass pro. I got a 3 technique. All right, I want to use my up foot,
outside
correct?
foot,
I'm sorry.
outside foot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I want to use outside foot, but I want to use my up foot technique, correct? As a pass pro.
Up kick. Gotcha.
I'm sorry, up kick. I'm going to use the up kick. Okay, I'm going to use the up kick. Okay. All right, so that's my near foot, my near hand on him, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That defensive tackle, he's a 3 technique. Okay, so now he's trying to swipe my hand. I'm going to try to pull it back, but now I got it. I'm going to lose my up kick, aren't I, eventually? And then I got to get my inside hand involved and run him upfield?
Well, what's the guy on defense is going to, what's he going to do? Is he going to go out?
Yeah, he's going to, I'm the right guard. Okay, I'm using the up kick, okay, on a 3 technique, and he's going to remain in the B gap. He's going to just remain in his pass rush lane into the B gap.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he's just a regular 3 tech, just a regular 3, and he's on me, when I strike him, the play will probably be over. I probably hit him so hard he can't even move. Now, if he slants out, he predeterminedly slants out. As I bring that foot, as I boom, I've got to move to the outside. So automatically I would bring my outside foot back and go to the kick step to stay in front of him.
Correct. Okay? Right. Okay.
Correct. Because I got to chase him.
So you got to chase him.
So absolutely. As soon as I strike the guy, any outside move, I bring it back and I go to him. Boom. If he comes right at me, this foot will automatically stay at him if he doesn't make any move at all. The key is the inside hand being, it could be a little higher, it could be a little lower, but if he goes inside, at least I've got a dropped foot and a clamped hand to stop the inside move. Plus, right. I'm inside out to begin with.
Right.
So yes, I would drop my hand and my up kick foot if he does go outside.
Correct.
I've got some clips on a TE where the guy hit the guy so hard, the blocker, that he stoned him so hard that when he hit him so hard, when he went out, he knocked the looper over and he never got to the B gap.
Outstanding. Yes.
Because you've struck him so hard.
I like to see that. That'd be great. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Yes. Okay. So, and I mentioned it earlier. So I'm still the right guard. I got a 2-eye now.
2-eye. Now I do not step forward. I just drop my post and use my outside hand.
Right. Okay. Correct. Okay. So my question is, with the up kick to the 3 technique, I'm with my near foot, but down on the 2i, I'm dropping my near foot. Am I correct? I mean,
I'm dropping my inside foot.
inside foot, yeah, my inside foot, which is my near foot if I'm a 2i. If I'm a right guard.
Yeah, because I don't want to give him my inside hand because he's at the closest point to go inside. So by already having by dropping the inside foot, I'm ready for him to go inside. I've predetermined that if he goes inside, I've already dropped my post foot.
Correct. Yes. Because like you said, if I step against a 2i as a right guard, if I step with my near foot, he knocks my hand down, I'm screwed.
And I lock my hips.
I lock my hip. Correct. Yes. Okay.
I can't move.
Right. Okay. Now that's good.
Now if he jumps back outside, after I punched him, I just bring my hand to my feet and recover and play football.
And recover. Correct. Yes. Okay. Good.
You ready to look at some more film, Coach? Steve, you got any more questions?
We got another question.
How are they handling the 4i in the tight front and pass pro?
Well, how is who handling the 4i? Huh.
Yeah.
What's the other?
Very
what are the other alignments with it?
We almost got into a big fight, Coach, over this. I mean, this 4i deal and this. We had a shade nose, and then we had a 4i, then we had a 9.
I got a clip that I drew, a big picture, a big one of my big pictures. I got the 4i, I got the overload defense, blah blah blah. Okay, if I was handling the 4i and I was a guard, I'd foot fire to get over, I'd up kick, and I'd have the tackle drop vertically. Because they'll run one of those TE stunts where the 4i guy comes straight ahead and the outside guy comes in. Almost like the old TE that Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall used to do.
I don't want to see that.
Contained.
Nobody contained.
Nobody contained.
Two guys were in the B gap.
Well, the one guy pressed the tackles down the middle, okay? He never really went outside. He just tried to drive the tackle. And the other guy twisted around in the B gap. So the guard has got a foot fire and up kick the 4i, stone the shit out of him, okay? And then he's got enough time because the widest guy does like a TE. If the wide guy doesn't do a TE, the guard blocks the 4i, the tackle blocks the wide end. The tackle vertical splits, the guard foot fires and up kicks.
And Mark, are you good with that, Mark? If you have a follow-up question, put it in the chat. Coach wants to look at some more film.
Does he got it?
Coach, I got two screens here now. I got one screen over here that's got the Twitter, and then I got the screen here in front of me. He's got y'all. All right, so you want to look at this? He said, excellent. Mark Corey said, excellent. Coach, you want to look at the jiu-jitsu guys?
This is a good example. If you're just trying to drive block a guy that's right on you, okay? Shut the voice off, and then we'll let the voice play. If you're just trying to drive block a guy that's head up with you. Now, this guy's like in a 3 technique. Watch him root his feet. When he strikes the guy, he brings the outside hand up, okay? Even if the guy's head up with you, because a lot of times they grab your outside shoulder and swim you, or they try to stick the hand right into your outside shoulder. Boom. So in order to defeat that, the outside hand, instead of coming with a double under, the outside hand comes up like a ward-off hand. It's like an under, but it's like a block hand. Then the second step comes under. So instead of it being a double under, it's an outside hand coming up to kind of flick. You know, if he does an Olay move on me, boom, 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 boom. If he doesn't do anything, it looks like a double under. Just watch his hands. Just do what
I've showed this before, but just watch. Let's pretend this is a drive block. You want to get square on a guy. Now he loses ground laterally, but don't worry about the feet. Watch his left arm. Because the defensive guys like to grab your shoulder or lay you like a pass rush move, his left arm comes up like a blocked hand, and then the right hand comes underneath. So it's not a double under, it's a single under with the outside hand coming up to block the defensive guy's outside hand so he doesn't grab us or push us with that outside hand. Okay, let's watch.
Okay, this set of videos will be how to cover a guy. I just did match, where you throw the guy out because the ball's coming, you're in front of.
Okay, here we go.
I want to notice the hands.
See
here.
that outside hand lift?
Okay,
that protects the guy from an old leg.
Like this
okay,
to
see that lift?
Like
see that left hand lift? That should be the first thing you do when you want to cover a guy.
Right? Because the
second hand is, see it fit in there? That's the clog hand. That's the lift hand.
You want this one?
Yeah. Play it. I can't hear myself.
Okay. Okay. A right guard versus a one technique on tight zone. This is the one. Okay. So I brace, I lunge. Okay. My feet are rooted. I blunt, two long arms. I'm looking to my front side gap. Okay. If I have to move to pick up a penetrator, fine. Okay. Let's say this guy's a two gap, comes straight ahead. Then I boom, boom, and then I torque him. And the center comes and kills him. Okay, let's say it's a wide zone and this is a one technique. Then I go boom, boom, and then I start to move laterally because it's a wider play. Look for the gap, go up on the back. But at no time am I piercing the line of scrimmage. My feet are rooted and my hands are long. That was a great demonstration, even in the gym.
Coach, what gives you these ideas to make these videos? Is it just something pops in your head and, hey, I need to do this. I need to show this?
I've seen the best blockers with their feet when they make contact. Okay, their feet are rooted underneath them or actually behind them. When actual contact is made, they are not taking a lead step, a forward step. They might foot fire because the guys kind of flex, foot fire, and then they root. Okay, they might foot fire, and then sooner or later they might root. Keep flicking forward a couple. Let's see if we can find a couple clips of
Steve, you got anything?
Yeah, they might foot fire because the guys kind of flex, foot fire, and then. Are we going the right way, Coach?
Yes, Coach.
Okay.
This is your beautiful mind.
Okay.
Notes right here.
Let them go. Keep going. Let's get to some
I love
video.
it.
Right here?
No. Let's go. Video. Oh, go.
So you don't want to watch yourself in your living room?
No.
So don't watch the living room, because I thought this was the best one yet, because you were showing people how to block household furniture.
Yeah. Go to the next
skip
one.
it.
Skip it.
Coach, while
This
he's
was
doing that,
the 4-eye.
Yeah.
Huh? Steve, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, man?
No. Coach McNally. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Stop that one then. Stop that one. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Coach.
Okay, you use the term clog when it's run, and then you use the word the term clamp when it's pass pro. Correct? Am I correct?
No. A clamp is a higher. Okay, a clog is an underlift or a lift under, like a double under.
Okay.
Part of the under.
Okay. Part of the under.
Guy.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, an under may turn into a low clamp, but a pure clamp. If I was going to say use a double clamp on pass pro, I would grab both of the biceps, and that would be a pure clamp. If I just clamp the inside hand, okay, let's say whatever, say this is the hand here, okay, I would just clamp. All right, I want to use a clamp and an under, a clamp and an under. Now, let's say the guy went inside of me and I punched him with an up kick, then this low hand may turn into like a low clamp or whatever you want to call it, catch the guy, a catch hand, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, these are
For Coach Pridgeon, arc strength.
this
Arc
is
of
just
the back.
rolling your hips. Watch the guy roll his hips. Arch his back. No flat back shit.
No.
Go to the next one.
For Coach Pridgeon, arc strength.
Go to the next one.
Here?
Well, I can't see it. Go to the next one. Next one. Next one. Keep going. I want to get
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Okay. All right. Watch this guy.
Didn't make it.
Watch
Go ahead,
this
Coach, you
guy
got it.
just lunge. Root. Go ahead, play the music.
Yes, sir.
Hey, go back one. Go back one.
I wanted to highlight this one again.
Go back one. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Start here.
Believe it. Watch, there's the coup d'etat Sunday night. If you don't believe it now, you'll never believe it. Watch the right guard, okay?
Left
The
guard.
left guard, excuse me. Brace. Stomp. Okay?
The pass, I believe.
All right. Got to start with this play.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Watch him
Look where his feet are.
kind of drop his left knee, just drag his right foot. His feet really don't really go forward. See the lunge? See that lunge? Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, go fast. This is more of
Here's
a
the
pass.
left guard
let's
again.
Go a little faster.
Okay, this is a pass. So he's jumping the guy. He like
move.
foot fires forward on a play action pass. Watch his hips roll.
That's a forward jump with a double under.
Okay.
Watch this.
Watch his
this.
left guard. Watch him dip right there. Is this your guys right here? See that little, see him gather himself. See him dip just before he strikes. See him lift.
Run back. See where his feet are when
Okay.
he strikes?
I'm wondering if I could maybe right there.
His feet are fucking underneath.
Watch his
himself.
left guard.
There's no fucking lead step. There's no step into the
Watch
guy.
him dip right there. Is this your guys right here? See that little, see him gather himself. See him dip just before he strikes. See him lift. Okay. I'm wondering if I could maybe shut that down. See where his
There it
feet
is.
are?
There it is. There it is.
See the lift? Okay. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Look at him gather. Look at him dip, lift. Okay. Watch the center. Same thing.
His
Center
feet are
again.
behind him.
Dip, lift.
Coach, it's 10 after 10. We got 2 hours and 10 fucking minutes.
Man, we've gone
Awesome.
hard. Coach Tatum's got a statement here. Coach, I'm sorry, I'm just getting here. I'll be watching the replay. Coach Taylor, you're the man for getting these guys together. You know,
We got to get Coach Taylor a job now. Get him a job. Get him a job. He can recruit like a mother. He can coach offense. He can coach defense. He's coached every position. He's at one of the top high schools in Virginia, but we got to get him a little bit better job. He's got a girlfriend. He'll probably get married. He needs a few more bucks to get him where he can have 10 or 12 kids.
Get his own team.
I'm 44. I mean, 10 or 12 kids, I already got one, Coach. I mean, Steve, what's your advice on this? I mean, should I try to go to the 10 or 12 kids at the age of 44?
Hey, the more the merrier.
Man. I'm glad I don't drink, Coach. I was accused of being an alcoholic by some guy on Twitter.
Really?
He said Coach McNally was a fraud.
Wow. Hey.
That was a big fat guy. Looks like he's off the whale.
Wow. Hey, I would love to show a couple of clips.
Yeah.
With Coach McNally and kind of get his critique on some of the stuff that, you know,
how are you going to do it? Are you on your computer?
I am. I'm on both. I'm on my phone. I got 3 things going on. I got my phone, my computer, and my TV. I got 3 screens going on.
All right, well, put it up there. Put your phone where it's recording the TV. We're very high tech.
What say what now?
Take your phone and record the TV. But Coach, how much longer you got in you, Coach? How much can you look at?
I want to be able to do it on the computer.
Okay, so you got your computer?
I got my computer.
Okay, so can you log on to the link?
Hold on.
Did I send it to you on Twitter?
Hey, listen, I've put every single thing out there. I've put the picture, Coach, of the guard versus a one technique, punching with the outside hand, dropping the post.
Yeah.
How many videos have I sent? 225?
I love it. Yeah.
They should all be on there.
1,007 tweets. I think Coach wants to show you some of his film, Coach.
Maybe we can do another time.
Well,
yeah, let's. Coach McNally say he's not doing many more podcasts after tonight.
Well,
so yeah, put it up there, Coach. What do you got? Yeah. You want me to send you the StreamYard? 1,007 tweets.
Yeah. How do I get it on my computer? That's what
Here you go. I'll invite you. I'll send it to you on Twitter. All right. So
you need to go to my Twitter now?
No, I'm gonna send you a message on Twitter with the link, and then pull that up on your laptop.
Okay, let me try it. Okay. All right, go to my messages. All right, let me see here. Because right now I'm talking to you through my phone, but I want to be able to talk through the computer.
Yeah, I can get it. All I can do is send you a link.
All right, let me see.
There you go. You should have it.
All right, give me a second. All right.
See, Coach McNally, if you had a laptop, you could show it off of your computer, but we don't trust laptops, do we?
I don't even have a computer. I'm like Hillary. I smashed mine.
Yeah, we only use iPads and iPods, and this is the #1 offensive line iPod of all time.
Hold a minute.
Coach McNally, has there ever been another offensive line iPod better than this one that we did today?
No, I don't think so. I don't understand. My iPad's been fully charged. It's got the charger sign, and it's only at 90%, but it's been fully charged. How the hell can I lose 10% being charged?
I don't know. We don't know how to hit the gritty, some dude. Like, we don't even know what the gritty is. What does that mean to you, Coach McNally? What does it mean to be gritty?
The gritty is like eating grits. They got to be pretty good.
Do y'all eat grits in Buffalo?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. What if the University of Miami sent a plane to Buffalo to pick you up to take you to Coral Gables? Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I'd probably go. They'd have to pay me too, but
So, are you on the link now on your computer, Steve?
No, I don't see the message you sent me. You sent it
On
to
Twitter?
Yeah.
Go to your Twitter messages, the envelope.
Yeah, I got the. I'm looking at Twitter right now.
I sent it from. Go into your messages. I sent it on.
Yeah, I'm hitting messages. Yeah.
That's the same problem I had with Coach McNally. I messed it up. All right, I'm gonna send it from. I'm gonna send it from mine because I sent it from the championship football coaches clinic, whatever the name of this thing is.
I'm looking at message. I don't have any messages right now. Or yeah.
All right, I just sent you a message now.
All right, give me a second. Now I see it. Okay, good.
That was from my account.
So I'm going to click it on my computer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see if this works. I'm gonna be like, I probably have to shut it off on the phone. Then I'm pointing to the phone right now. I probably need to go to the computer, right? All right.
Yeah, but just do it on the computer. That I can take you off of this. There you go. So now you go to the bottom of your screen and present.
Present. Okay. All right. Good. This is good. All right. I'm gonna hit share screen. Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Screen. All right. What do you see right now?
Did you press present?
Do I hit share? I gotta hit share.
Present and then. All right, there it is. There you go. We can see it.
All right, give me a second.
Coach McNally, did y'all ever use Huddle when you were coaching at all? Was Huddle even around? But Coach Callahan had something to do with starting Huddle.
yes, he did. But I did not have anything to do with Huddle because I was with the NFL and I wasn't working with the high school kids.
Shoot.
I think it was some like video GAs started Huddle, man. Those guys are billionaires.
Gosh,
Michael, this guy's asking us, what is y'all's opinion of Michael B. Jordan? Coach McNally, do you even know who Michael B. Jordan is?
If he's not the basketball player, I have no fucking idea.
He plays Apollo Creed's son, Creed 3, Michael B. Jordan.
I don't know.
What do you see, Coach?
I see your PowerPoint.
Okay, good. All right. So again, all right, hold on. All right, so here's our inside zone going left, Coach. Okay, just watch our center as he's. Just want to get your opinion. Okay, so we got. So he obviously he got the A gap. You see how he rewinds, helps the right guard. Correct. His footwork's good.
I call that a square shuffle.
A square shuffle. Okay, so
on his third step, if the 2 or the 3 came in, he'd high leg them. But
he would high leg them. Correct. Yes.
Yeah, on his third step. But because everybody slants, he's going back to rewind on the 1 tech or the 2 technique. So I think it's perfect.
Perfect. Okay, good. That's good. Because that's what I'm teaching them. And I'm going to start using the term foot fire. I use active feet, but I love the foot fire term, Coach. So if I can, in honor of you, I can steal that and use that. And I will
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I would love
that.
The
world have the best foot fire.
Yeah.
The only thing I would do different with number 50, the left tackle, I would use kind of like that angle A approach, totally square. Of course, I know why you're jabbing inside because you don't want to get beat inside.
Exactly.
It's very effective. It's whatever you're doing is very effective. My point is, if you just kind of slowed down and kicked a little bit, and stuck your outside hand in his chest and have the inside hand throw him. Just throw him. Okay. But I think that's an effective technique you're doing. You're kind of dropping your post. You're worried about an inside pinch. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, Coach, yes, sir. What we tell like our left tackle here, he hears the combo call between the left guard and center. So he has the freedom, if he feels comfortable with it, using inside footwork, but that does not give him a license to turn. I want him staying square as long as possible. If he decides to go 1-2 with his inside foot first, I do want to stay in square and then throw him upfield. But I hear what you're saying. Yes, sir.
And then the left guard's always got to be able to be rooted and move to the gap. Of course, his guy slants, so he blocks him. And yeah, so when your left guard's on him right now, just torque him. Okay, as soon as the guy starts to move, throw him.
Torque him right now.
Throw him. As soon as he's moving, because you're running a tight zone. Same thing with the right guard. I mean, he's doing a great job. I mean, the center comes back, he shoulders him. Now the right guard's right on him. Torque him. Throw him. Throw him in the direction he's going. So he's fading to the inside slightly. Take your left hand out and torque him.
Yes, sir.
Because you'll finish it's perfect, but you'll finish all blocks with a throw. 98 doesn't do much. So, it's a very successful play. But if you'll try to finish all blocks, pulling one arm off, as soon as you know the guy's starting to move, even if he moves towards the ball carrier, throw him. You might throw him right past the ball carrier, because if you keep hanging on him, a good player, if you keep hanging on him, he's going to throw you before you throw him.
I agree. And that's what I constantly tell our guys. The longer you are remaining square with that guy and not torquing him, obviously you got to wait till he makes his decision.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But once you feel his momentum going, that's when you use his momentum against himself and you torque the heck out of him. And like you always say, play long, finish with one good long arm, correct?
Yes. The thing about it is when you think it's too good to be true, it is.
Yeah.
He's going to throw you before you throw him.
I love that. That is so true. All right. Can I go to the next one? All right, so here's from the other side. So we're still running inside zone. So we're going to sort this out. So here's obviously linebacker walks up over the center. All right. So you got the sorting out of the left guard. They're foot firing, and then obviously so the center and left guard they exchange. Obviously the DT and the Mike backer.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Again, our left tackle knows he's pretty much on an island. He's going to probably use a little jab step inside foot here, left tackle, just to protect his inside. And then obviously you run him upfield, kind of torque, see his inside hand, stretching him out here. Yeah. So.
I think it looks perfect to me.
Y'all knew beforehand that they walked that Mike backer down in a zero technique and run that like TN stunt with the tackle in the, I call him a nose, but it's the Mike walk down.
Yeah. Say that again, Troy.
Did y'all know beforehand that they walked that Mike down to like a nose guard and then run like a TN stunt or like a tackle nose?
Well, I think, let me see. As far as back to film goes, you'll see it here. He'll start walking up right now. So we got time to gather information. All right, so now obviously we see what's going on. So basically everyone's covered. But again, I always say this, we make all calls, but those are very strong suggestions, but we still got to block what the defense gives us. So obviously right now they do a little X stunt with the defensive tackle and the Mike backer. Well, I'll just call him the Mike. So now obviously the left guard and center have to be able to sort that out, which I think they do by Coach said, no one's piercing. Because I really believe if the left guard was to go out and directly go out with a flat back and try to block the guy over him, we would screw this up big time, wouldn't we, Coach?
Absolutely.
Yep. So I know I love it, Coach, because again, I'm telling you, I've been watching your stuff for years, and I believe like you take care of the line of scrimmage first. But you say foot fire, and I love that term. I always said active feet, but I'm going to start using that term more often. Foot fire, and then say take care of business. Yes, absolutely. All right, let me see another one. So here we got. I want to get a little tighter copy. So here we got
the end zone.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so looking at the center and left guard, got a combo here. Okay. All right, gets his helmet pulled up. But the bottom line is, let's look at the left guard and center.
Left guard can lock his arms out right now.
Yeah, he's using show. Yeah, and that's probably on me. Yeah, I agree.
Well, but I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and he can lunge into the block. He doesn't even have to step forward.
Yes.
But I mean, he's a big guy, so he's just dominating the guy.
Yeah.
The center's staying nice and square, I think. And,
yeah, Coach, I love the arrival of the center. Watch how square he arrives. He's going left, right, left. Yeah, he's square. Absolutely.
Yeah, his left leg should be forward.
Little forward, a little more forward.
His left leg should be in front of the left guard's right leg.
Okay. All right. Good. That's good to know. That's good to hear from you. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Okay. All right. So let me ask you. I think, Coach, what I was doing, to be honest with you, and it's not. I was teaching. You don't
really have to take a big step with it. Although you got a big guy there, so he's dominating the guy, which is good. But you don't have to. You can just kind of drop your left foot, your right foot may come over a little bit, and have him lunge into the block. I mean, just like that I was doing in the gym. Have him take both hands and just fire out and lunge, uncoil.
Like the hammer technique that you talk about?
I just called it the lunge. I didn't call it a hammer. The hammer is the center that comes and hammers him. If he's a two-gap player, I mean, if he just come too straight ahead, the postman will just grab him and throw him. And the hammer guy, the center, as he comes and works, when he gets to the high leg, he'll shove him. Now, that's only if you know the guy is a two-gap guy.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Coach me up on the right guard here, number 67. Obviously, he has a two-gap. It looks like he has a head-up two technique. And basically, he's staying square as long as he's going left, right, left, arching, rooting his feet as much as he can. I wish his right foot would have stayed rooted a little bit longer. But again, he's rooting. He's staying arched. But again, he's going to get thrown if he's not careful, correct?
Yeah, he needs to throw him.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Torque him.
Torque. Yeah. Finish with a lift and a torque, basically, correct?
Yes.
Good.
But
okay.
I mean, your guys are handling everybody that they're blocking, so I don't think you don't really need to make any adjustments.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Well, as you know, yeah. Hat on a hat gives us a chance, right? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Again, you see our left tackle. He knows basically he's on an island here. Okay, he got him nice and wide, so we got a combo going. So he's going to use a little jab step, inside footwork with his right foot first, one, then two, and then he's going to throw the guy upfield here as far as the left tackle goes.
Right.
1, 2. So he's just going to, but I just don't want him losing him. I like it. I love his finish though. That's a prick right there. I'll tell you, number 50. His nickname's the Quiet Beast. He doesn't say much, but he sure gets after pretty good. He really does. Here's a goal line situation. Basically got 9 guys around the box. Obviously, we got 6 linemen in the game here. We got an extra lineman and a tight end. We got DI guys. I think we might have ID'd this wrong, but let's look at the left guard. He's going to block the 4. I'm just going to identify him as the 4 guy here. So left guard getting rooted, lift, arch, drive, but you got to finish with a torque though, right?
Your right guard's Pearson, isn't he? I mean,
yeah. Let me see here. Good question. Let me see. Yeah. He's leaving the center out front and out. Yeah, I think we had a. Yeah, I think we had a fan call. It looks like the tackle's calling fan and called him out, but we should have slowed it down. I really think we should have stayed inside and blocked this guy.
But that's okay. He can still fan, but he doesn't have to turn his pads and go. He can stick his left hand out and work laterally and just throw the guy out because the ball.
So he go right, left, stick his left hand right here, correct?
Yeah. and
And
just
then as he
move
throws it,
sideways
yes, sir.
and just throw that next guy out because the ball's hitting up the backside leg of the center.
So he can block, hit his left hand here, and then work out that way. Correct.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. All right. Sweet. All right. Let's go one or two more. I don't want to keep. I know you've been doing it for. I love it. Coach. I can't thank you. Here's a practice clip here against a 3-man front. So right guard, right tackle. We got a couple of different guys in here now. Now here's an example. The right guard, he starts leaning. He doesn't really do a good job double under in the wilt backer. You're going to see him start leaning right there. He loses him. Yep, right there. That's bad.
Now just gather yourself.
Gather. Yes, sir. So he sees this away. Now he got the green light to go up to the wilt backer. Gather, and double. And then this would be an example to use to double under right now. Correct?
Yeah. Yes, he can. But the thing about it is when he goes up to the second level, he needs to kind of gallop with his inside leg high so he's not totally parallel. I mean, just before he strikes, he needs to square his feet. But I mean, as he's going, if he keeps like a high leg, he can be a little bit more under control, so he's not like all over the place. But
all right, Coach, look at the left guard, the circled guy, number 77. Okay, so I got good approach, good double under, but you need to finish with a lift and a torque. So let's just watch the left guard here. It's kind of these are notes I send my guys. So obviously you're the left guard, you're number 77. All right, you see the nose tackle works away. Okay, so you read that on your set. So you're going right, left, right. Third step, I know I'm going up to the backer. Get him covered up. Now just finish with a lift and a torque. He kind of gets away at the last second, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks fine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. Good. All right.
What about the center on that, Coach?
Let's look. Let me go back. Let me see what Coach says. Talk about the center, Coach. Critique the center. All right. Let's watch it. I said must get all your cleats in the ground at the point of attack. Look at your lift at point of attack. So I'm probably not happy with his point of attack.
I would just pick up my right foot and lift with my right arm and come underneath with my left arm and
Okay, so the center, head up, nose, 1, 2. You got to land in second. Yep. All right. Yep.
All works. Looks good to me.
I hand it to that running back as many times as possible.
I'm sorry?
Hand it to that running back as many times as possible.
Yeah, he's pretty special. He really is. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to the next. I'll show you this one real quick. I asked him think pause. I think we miss ID this guy because this backer comes free. So I think the left guard, and he's a good player. He just makes I think he is really thinking he doesn't help. The center looks like he's expecting help because now the center can't block.
Well, see, the left guard, if his assignment is the middle linebacker,
yes,
okay, he needs to fire his feet, okay, towards his assignment. So what I'm saying is that he can his assignment is that middle linebacker, but he can just kind of fire his feet inside, don't go anywhere, and then whoever penetrates to him the first, after he keys the linebacker, he can help. Let me see what happens. Let's see where the middle guy goes.
Okay. Yeah, he's off. We're off.
The linebacker scrapes, so he's got to work with the center, right?
Correct. Yeah, correct. And that was my coaching point to him. If you look at my notes right here, I say if you have to point with my right hand to ID the backer, I'm thinking ace combo here. You're blocking nobody here. To go left to come back all the way to your right makes very little sense here.
The left tackle should overlap his man, underlap, or whatever you want to call it. Take his right foot and drop it a little. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. And then the left guard should.
I think the left guard screwed up. Yeah.
The left guard should just foot fire towards the nose and then not go anywhere. We call it a red light. There, he's totally uncovered. John Stroll, just firing your feet, key the backer, and then whichever guy's got to help, he might have a double stop sign.
Correct.
That's inside zone left, right?
What's
That is designed to go to the left. Correct, Coach.
So the right guard should be blocking that mic, shouldn't he?
Well, I think we had. Okay,
No. They're turning. He's doubling to the mic with the
Yeah,
left
we gotta-
guard, the right
yeah.
guard, and right tackle are fanning.
Correct. Yeah, right guard and right tackle are fanning out to the Sam back. I'm going to call him the Sam backer.
They're
So
running
the right
like
guard
a duo.
duo. Yes.
Not to the tight end side, though.
Right.
They're running the play as if it's going to the left side.
Yeah. Yeah.
play
The left guard
side-
should be coming down.
Play side is over here to the left.
Yeah. As I got it drawn up right here, it should be blocked away. It's drawn up right here. Correct.
Yeah, it's drawn up right. You're blocking it right. Only the left guard's the guy that screwed up.
Yeah, and that was my coaching point to him when I sent him the notes. Okay, that's my question. I got combo call here. What are we doing? Okay, so now that was, and then we did clean it up. Same game, we cleaned it up. So now here we go. So now it's so now we got a Will Backer walked out here. You really can't see him, but so the left tackle is gonna, and the left guard are working out. Okay, so there is a Will Backer out here. So now the right guard and center are working through the nose tackle up to the Mike Backer. And I really like how square, watch how square our right guard, number 76, watch how square he arrives on the nose tackle here. Watch this. So it's left, right, left. Nose comes to him. He said, I like the center's timing. He's trying to help out the right guard a little, but his eyes never, and then look at it, look at the double under on our center up to the Mike Backer. I really like this. I really like the inside combo between the center and right guard.
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Let me just go back one more. All right. Our left tackle, could he help a little more with his inside hand for the left guard? Or
he doesn't have to go well, yeah, that guy's out there wide. He can just kind of kick in place and not turn his pads. He can almost just pass block.
Okay, good. All right.
Because when he turns, he hinges. He might as well just stick his inside hand up and vertical set like a pass.
I got you. So really, so you're saying left tackle here, he could just set that right, his right hand right into this guy's chest, right, or is right into his face, right here.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Like it. Awesome. Good arrival by the right guard, right staying square, left, right, left, boom, taking over. Center does a good job timing it up. Yep. All right. I don't want to. All right, so here we're going inside zone to the offensive left, defensive right. Again, so this is a little harder because really we're asking the combo to go way over out because we have a Will Backer out here. So basically the left guard and left tackle are working out to the Will. The center and right guard are working up to the way out to the Mike. So let's look here. We got a combo between the right guard and center.
The right guard can take like a 3-step approach. He can like drop his inside foot, come lateral, and then his left foot can go high or whatever he wants. And the center, he doesn't have to vacate. I mean, he can take a step with his left foot and then lunge into that center with his right arm, which he's trying to do. And so he's not just vacating, which is fine.
Yeah. He is trying to help him out, isn't he? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I got to go, Coach.
All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank y'all.
I got to go.
Thank you, Troy.
See you, Coach.
Coach, thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime. Let's do it some more. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, let's do it some more. See you, Coach.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Troy. What do you think? How we doing?
I off?